The land of fire, Konoha. In the residence of the Hyuga family, two young girls are intertwined. You attack and the other defends, accompanied by gusts of palm wind. One of them is about 7 years old, with a heroic appearance, and the other is 13 years old, with a quiet appearance, and both have a pair of pure white eyes like snow. Suddenly, the 12-year-old girl increased the strength of her hand, and the speed increased by a point, knocking the 7-year-old girl back a step. When she was about to pursue the victory, she noticed the panic in the eyes of the 7-year-old girl, and decisively withdrew the strength from her hand, turning it into a light palm. Seeing this, the 7-year-old girl seized the opportunity and knocked the 12-year-old girl to the ground. At this moment, a middle-aged man snorted coldly. Enough. After so many years, I still can't even beat Hanabi, who is 5 years younger than you. I really don't have any talent at all. Back off, Hinata. Yes, father. Hinata held back tears and smiled softly at Hanabi, bowing her head and leaving. When her figure disappeared into the courtyard, Hanabi immediately said, "Father, my sister." "I know." Hyuga Hiyashi crossed his arms and said with a straight face, "Hinata is stronger than you, but she is 5 years older than you, but her strength is limited. She kept her hand from you, which shows that she is very weak inside. The Hyuga clan doesn't need a weak heir, she can't protect the glory of the Hyuga clan." As he spoke, Hiyashi fixed his eyes, stared at Hanabi and said seriously, "Remember, if you want to control yourself, and even your sister's fate, you have to be strong enough." Hanabi seemed to understand something, and his eyes became firm. "Understood, father. I will protect my sister's gentleness and kindness. Next, you attack me." Satisfaction flashed in Hyuga Hiyashi's eyes, but he still maintained his strict father's appearance. An hour later, the two finally ended the duel. Hanabi was taken down by the maid to soak in the medicinal bath. A figure appeared beside Hyuga Hiyashi, and bowed to report. "The patriarch. The elders are dissatisfied with your decision to let the eldest lady join the ninja team, saying that members of the clan cannot stand in danger, if you must insist, unless. Hyuga Hiyashi interrupted with a cold look in his eyes, "Tell them that I am the patriarch. According to the agreement in the past, when Hanabi becomes an adult, he will compete with Hinata. Whoever wins will become the young patriarch, and the other will be planted with caged bird." This is the only way Hyuga Hiyashi can think of to keep Hanabi and Hinata from being planted caged bird immediately. Hinata joins the ninja team and seeks the protection of third Hokage instead. This is the tenderness that he, as a father, cannot express. There are still 8 years, Hanabi and Hinata, it doesn't matter who they are, they must be strong enough. At the same time, in the spacious bedroom, Hinata, who hugged her feet and huddled in the corner sobbing for a long time, slowly raised her head, with water mist in her pure white eyes, as pure as if it could wash away all dirt. Instead of patting her cheek to encourage herself as usual, Hinata's cute and delicate face showed doubts. Just because in front of her little white feet, there is a silver book inlaid with gold threads. There are a few large characters written on it, "Zhao Yuchen diary copy, Hyuga Hinata." This should be someone's diary, but is this person's surname Zhao, or Zhao Yu? Either way, it feels weird. If the surname is Zhao, it will be Yuchen. Could it be Teacher Yuchen? A figure appeared subconsciously in Hinata's mind. It was a young man, a teacher of a ninja school, with the same black hair and black pupils as Uchiha Sasuke, with a handsome face that made male students jealous and mischievous, and female students obsessed and took classes very seriously. The smile makes people feel very gentle. Teacher Yuchen. Hinata was very impressed with Yuchen. Outstanding appearance is only a trivial aspect, mainly because of the special achievements achieved by the other party. The only genin to be a teacher since the founding of ninja school. He was specially hired by third Hokage because of his rich theoretical knowledge. The suspected teacher's diary. Why did it appear in front of me? Illusion, prank? Hinata can determine that this diary did not previously exist. But who can let this thing go without anyone noticing? What is the purpose? After a moment of doubt in his heart, Hinata first tried to dispel the illusion, but the diary was still there. So she decided to put away the diary first, and return it to teacher Yuchen at school tomorrow. As for the contents, she has no intention of snooping, even though the cover still says, "Duplicate, Hyuga Hinata." How can a lady peep? Why? When the hand touched the cover, the diary opened automatically as if it came to life. The content in it immediately caught Hinata's eyes, and she didn't even have time to close her eyes. Through time travel, it is still the anime world of Hokage. The first sentence made Hyuga Hinata startled. Time travel. Hokage she knows. What does anime world mean? World uniquely named. So, teacher Yu Chen is dead and his soul is occupied by a visitor from Otherworld? Hinata trembled and continued to look down. Yu Chen, the first name is still the original name, but there is no surname. After all, this thing is not available to ordinary people. Laughing big teeth. Appearance, or my appearance, is still slightly better than Yanzu Tianel and the others. Second brother, the same second brother, suppresses all dissatisfaction. Many women who are reading diaries. Tisk. I received a letter from the tide on the Qiantong River, and today I know who I am. Understood. This is my body. It was just brought to the Hokage world by XXX system. From infancy to the present, I have retraced it again. Today is my 18th birthday. I have awakened the memories of the past, Sue. Seeing this, Hinata subconsciously breathed a sigh of relief. It turned out to be the awakening of the memory of the previous life in another world, so teacher Yu Chen is still teacher Yu Chen. She has heard of reincarnation. Okay, next is the memorable screaming moment. Hinata wife. Hinata wife. Hinata wife. Say important things 3 times. I didn't expect to see the real Hinata. The white eyes are so beautiful, the best wife in the ninja world, the dream of a normal man. Then I have to catch up, otherwise the chrysanthemum electric drill will be fine. Boom. Hinata's cute and pretty face flushed immediately, and even a little bit of steam came out of her lavender short hair. If the name Hinata is repeated, then the white eyes are too targeted. So, teacher Yu Chen actually called himself his wife? She also said that she is the best wife and must be chased after her. This I have just graduated, and I am not yet an adult. How could teacher Yu Chen have such thoughts about himself? This is too much punishment. Unprecedented sense of shame, unprecedented sense of recognition, inexplicable anger, and many unexplainable emotions, all flooded his brain. Hinata only felt black in front of her eyes, and she passed out when she tilted her head. This is the CPU being blown out, and people are directly broken. Elder sister. Elder sister. After an unknown amount of time passed, Hinata woke up slowly when Hanabi's voice sounded in his ears. What came into view was a flustered little face with misty eyes. Hanabi. Hinata felt that she was exhausted all over, and it took a lot of effort to sit up again. Then, she saw the diary that made her faint again, and a rush of heat rushed into her brain. How could teacher Yu Chen have thoughts about himself? I am only 13 years old, a minor. Could it be that this is the lolicon in the storybook? While thinking, Hinata only felt that he was going to faint again. At this time, Hanabi grabbed her arm and said with concern, "Sister, are you okay?" Hearing this, Hinata was shocked immediately. The diary is just laid out there, Hanabi won't read it? If she knows that teacher Yu Chen has thoughts about her, she will tell her father about it. Then teacher Yu Chen will be in trouble. Thinking of this, Hinata hurriedly asked, "Hanabi, you didn't watch the day?" Just blurting out a word in the diary, Hinata suddenly felt a palpitation, and the coldness went straight to the sky. As long as she said one more word, it felt like a hand would scratch her heart. Instinctively, she realized that only she could see and read this diary, and she could not disclose it to anyone other than herself, otherwise great horror would come. This feeling also convinced Hinata that this was not a prank done by someone using illusion. I did encounter some kind of incredible event. I'm fine. Knowing that Hanabi hadn't read the diary, Hinata breathed a sigh of relief, and said with a blushing face, "Maybe I'm hungry and have no strength." Regarding her true food intake, Hinata kept in mind her identity as the daughter of Hyuga, and felt that it would damage her image and kept concealing it. Hanabi will know, it's all because she is too clingy to her at ordinary times, and she found her stealing food several times, and she really can't hide it. Gulu. The stomach made a sound at the right time, making Hanabi believe Hinata's childish lie. "Sister, I just came to ask you to have dinner. Let's go, you can eat more tonight. If you want me to say, my sister should tell the truth to my father. If every meal is full, I think my sister will be much stronger." Saying that, Hanabi pulled Hinata up. "Hanabi." Hinata hurriedly stopped her and said, "You go first, I still have something to do, so I'll go later." "What is it? Do you want Hanabi to help?" No need, you go first, don't keep father waiting for a long time." "But, good. All right." Hanabi couldn't hold back Hinata, so he had to leave alone. When she disappeared at the corner of the corridor, Hinata breathed a sigh of relief, and then opened the copy of Zhao Yuchen's diary in his hand again. She definitely didn't want to pry into other people's inner thoughts, or be curious about the time traveler. She simply wanted to know whether teacher Yu Chen was in danger or not. Unfortunately, Hinata is only 12 years old, and she still had ulterior motives before she became an adult, starting in 3 years. However, Mitarashi Anko and Yuhihon can be picked, and there are Terumi Mei, Tsunade, Azabui, and Shion outside the village. The second dimension is really good. Seeing this, Hinata was both happy and surprised. Hi. Although teacher Yu Chen likes her, she knows how to restrain herself and not overdo it. Surprised because Zhao Yu Chen is so scum. Boy, he actually likes so many girls. But Hinata instinctively didn't think there was any problem with this. After all, Zhao Yu Chen is a time traveler, and the people in this world are comic characters to him. This feeling is like when she reads novels and scripts, she also likes some of the characters, not just one or two. Totally understandable. Hey, it's getting far. I am just a mere Konoha genin, tisk. Because I have rich theoretical knowledge, and I am an excellent successor of the Will of Fire, emphasis. So I can be a ninja teacher. These beauties with full of personality, where are they? I can make up my mind. All the beauties. If you can talk, talk more. This ninja world is not peaceful. In the future, Pain will go to Konoha to carry rice, the 4th Ninja World War, up to Titan Melee. Cage level is just cannon fodder, and alien races invade. Let's keep it low-key. Seeing this, the many women who were reading the diary had different expressions. As expected of a traveler, you actually know Pain, but what is it just to carry rice? In the land of rain, Conan stretched out a hand to touch the rain, his eyes full of doubts. In her other hand, there is also a copy of Zhao Yu Chen's diary, exclusive to Conan. The 4th ninja outbreak should have been provoked by Nagato to make the world feel the pain. Gundam Titan Melee, Uchiha Madara. Cage level is just cannon fodder. It's not surprising. Before God, it is true. But what is the Otsutsuki family? There is also an alien race invasion. Conan has used his own method to determine the authenticity of the diary, and he is 70% confident in the contents. She thought she could think of the answer to the previous content of the Otsutsuki family's infighting. But the Otsutsuki clan, as well as the alien race, touched her blind spot. The wars between the 5 great powers have brought so much pain to the world. Could it be that after Xiao Xiao's plan is successful, there will be a Star War? Comics should be similar to storybooks and novels written by Mr. Jiraiya. To be able to come up with such a setting, the author has at least 10 years of cerebral thrombosis. Even the White Tiger of Shaoji, the High Cold Angel, wanted to complain at this time. Conan. What's the matter? A voice suddenly rang in Conan's ear. Fine. Conan withdrew his hand calmly, and said, I was just thinking. Let that Madara, be careful when you shoot. If 4th Mizukage dies, 3 Tails will die too, and the Tail Beast collection plan will be launched for 3 years. The tailed beast doesn't really die, it just needs time to be reborn somewhere in Ninja World. I'll tell him. Well, the conclusion is that you have to hang on until you have enough strength. The first record is almost here, I am very hungry. Walk to have ramen for dinner, that's the legendary Otsutsuki Ichiraku, Jia Jia Jia. The content of the diary ends here. Hinata felt relieved again at the Hyuga mansion. At last, Zhao Yu Chen didn't say more tiger wolf words. Otherwise, you will have to be wary of teacher Yu Chen when you study in the future. But why do the last 3 words have such a terrifying sense of sight? The hand-slapping uncle used to have a surname, Otsutsuki? With such doubts, Hinata silently said, receive, in her heart, and the diary disappeared immediately. After tidying up her appearance and attire, she went to the dining hall for dinner. Meanwhile, the 7th floor penthouse of an apartment building near the ninja school. There was a desk in front of the window. Zhao Yu Chen took off his flat glasses and stretched himself. The sun exploded, the earth became cold, and all human beings became extinct. I didn't expect that a humble author who only begs for flowers, evaluation tickets and monthly tickets, can travel through the ninja world, which is still not peaceful. Fortunately, there is a cheat. Although it is not a system, it is a weird diary. Even the plug-in meeting gift is given after completing the first diary. Can't you just sign into the system? Zhao Yu Chen was thinking greedily. Lying down and winning, salted fish, is everyone's dream. Suddenly, he felt a force passing through his body from the diary. There is a noticeable increase in physical strength and mental strength, with the experience of training countless times imprinted into the brain and muscles, and a lot of information. Hiss, after digesting all the information, Zhao Yu Chen was no longer calm. Diary. I admit that I spoke a little louder just now. Complete the first diary. The diary is officially activated, the only recorder, Zhao Yu Chen. Activation package distribution. 1 full attribute basic chakra, yin yang fire wind thunder earth water. 2 flying thunder god technique 3 1 card chakra. Note: if you write a diary of more than 1,000 words a day, you can get a fixed card of chakra and a random ninjutsu. The longer the number of consecutive diary entries, the higher the chance of obtaining high-level ninjutsu. Note: there will be daily tasks announced every day. You can freely choose whether to complete them. After completion, record them in the diary to get corresponding rewards. If you do not complete them, you will not be rewarded. Note: keep writing a diary, and you can get special rewards for a certain period of time each session, 7 days, half a month, 1 month. Note: more functions will be activated after recording enough diaries. Chakra with all attributes is definitely the highest talent under the limit of blood successors, even surpassing the limits of ordinary blood successors. Ninjas have a certain chakra attribute, and they will get twice the result with half the effort when learning this type of ninjutsu. When performing ninjutsu, they can spend less chakra and achieve better results. When a ninja possesses the power of Jonin, he can theoretically develop chakra attributes in corresponding ninjutsu that he does not possess, but with half the effort, it is generally just to add some means, not a grandmaster. Konoha's strongest Hokage, 3rd generation Sarutobi Hiruzen, is an ordinary person with all chakra attributes. Now, Zhao Yu Chen can also proudly tell others, I have the talent of the strongest Hokage. What did you say? The strongest Hokage seals a pair of hands and eyes? Bully me no longer young. Manual funny, my body, which grew up smoothly under the protection of the diary, originally only had the fire attribute chakra. It's not bad to be able to have all attributes now, which can be regarded as the ceiling of mortals. But still a card of chakra is more realistic. Zhao Yu Chen tried to mobilize chakra, and the feeling was very different from what he remembered. Chakra swims in the meridians. If the amount refined in an instant in the past was just a string flowing from the eaves on a rainy day, it is now a river. In the past, 1 round of 3 body technique would make you feel weak, but now you can continue to refine it after using chakra in one go, and the total amount has increased. The human body has mental energy and physical energy. According to the Book of Linji, there are 130 trillion cells in the human body, and the physical energy and spiritual energy produced in them are mixed into physical strength. Physical strength is the basis for launching physical skills. If the spiritual energy and the physical energy can be mixed evenly, the physical strength can be converted into chakra in the body. After the ninja extracts the chakra, it can use the jutsu through the knot seal. Chakra refining is actually a method of deeply digging cells, so that more physical energy can be converted into chakra. The amount of chakra can be understood as the number of deeply mined cells. The chakra that ordinary people can develop is quite limited, and it is relatively easy to have blood successors. Some ninjas even have advanced or even exclusive chakra refining techniques. The ninja class is deeply entrenched. The original me, the most rubbish constitution combined with the most rubbish refining technique. I don't have the talent to become a ninja even if I don't recommend it in a diary. But now, I should already have more chakra than most jonin. Zhao Yu Chen is not blindly confident. 1 card of chakra refers to having the same amount of chakra as Hitaki Kakashi. Although Kakashi is often ridiculed for kidney deficiency because of its lack of blue, it even becomes a unit of measurement, but it depends on who it is compared with. Naruto had a conversation with Kakashi before developing the wind-style Rasengan Shuriken. At that time, Kakashi let Naruto practice through multiple shadow clone, can only accumulate experience and superimpose fatigue. Naruto thought that Kakashi could be so powerful because he had been training in this way, but was told that it was not because he did not have so many chakra. Naruto was puzzled and asked, "Do I have more chakra than teacher Kakashi?" Kakashi: "About 4 times as much." Naruto: "So many?" Kakashi: "If it wasn't for suppressing 9 tails chakra, it would be 100 times. Naruto was shocked by himself. After that, Yamato used wood style with 8 sign seal to suppress the 9 tails chakra in Naruto's body, so he can use his own chakra equivalent to 100 calories to practice. Naruto is from the Uzumaki family, and has a special constitution. It is estimated that chakra will be self-assembled without refining techniques. A quarter of him should not be underestimated. 40 millionaires have a quarter of their assets, aren't they also multimillionaires? As long as you insist on writing a diary every day, you can get a chakra card as a reward. In other words, tomorrow my chakra will surpass Kakashi. The day after tomorrow, my chakra can be compared with the normal Naruto who came back from Jiraiya's special training. 100 days later, comparable to a normal Naruto who doesn't suppress 9 tails. When the Fourth World War breaks out, my chakra level will be at least 1000 calories. Not counting Jinchuriki, the big pillars are no match for me, right? Starting with a human-tailed beast, Zhao Yuchen has to admit that this diary is really fragrant. Just insist on writing a diary every day, he can. Not to mention, there is the Flying Thunder God technique. Ha ha ha. What a dog, I have a showdown, I am invincible. The copy owners who thought it would take a while to see the diary found that the contents of the diary were suddenly updated. The first sentence made them feel black, but they were very puzzled. It was also said earlier that this world will be invaded by aliens in the later stage, so be careful. Why did he become invincible all of a sudden? Can the strength still leap in an instant? With doubts, the girls continued to read. No, I can't float, this can't be considered invincible, at best, no one can kill me. Facing infinite Tsukuyomi, or whoever is crazy and explodes into a star, it's still cold. Be cautious, continue to be cautious, first leave my seeds all over the ninja world, bah, it's a mark. There is still on the moon, but we have to wait until we can kill people in seconds. If you can't instantly kill your opponent, you're not strong enough. The diary ends here. All the girls have different expressions and are equally wonderful. Sprinkle with seeds or something, you're a pervert, aren't you? No. Why do I understand this sentence? Sins, it's all about the owner of this diary. There is also a spike to be strong enough, you are not cautious, you are called cowardly. As a ninja, to be able to be so obsessed is really XX knowledgeable. But having said that, the moon above the head actually has a way to go up. And it seems that there lives a person named Sharon. Are you sure it's not a fairy tale? Mark? In a space full of brilliance somewhere, a woman with long fiery red hair scratched her head. Could it be the Flying Thunder God technique? If it is true that you will not die if you don't ask for death. Thinking of something, the red-haired woman held the diary, her eyes became melancholy. Naruto, my child, I don't know how old you are or how you are doing. Will the owner of this diary write about you? Flying Thunder God technique is an S-level time-space ninjutsu invented by second Hokage Senju Tobarama. It belongs to a type of body flicker technique and has been carried forward in the hands of 4th Hokage Namikaze Minato. Apart from these two, it is known that only the 3 guards of Namikaze Minato can be used together. Zhao Yuchen didn't know that many people were talking about him. At this moment, he took out a unified standard kunai from his waist pocket, and left a Chinese character, Zhao, on the handle in a special way. This is his exclusive Flying Thunder God sigil, a special chakra sigil. After mastering the Flying Thunder God technique, he taught himself the sealing technique for making this special seal. That's right, the Flying Thunder God imprint is essentially a sealing technique, which can seal its own chakra on objects or human bodies, forming an indelible spell. Want to forcibly erase, unless it is a 6 paths level existence. Whoosh! Zhao Yuchen threw out kunai casually. In the next moment, he appeared on top of a wire pole more than 10 meters high, and kunai had already returned to him. This location is more than 300 meters away from his home in a straight line. This kind of movement speed, he used to dare not even think about it. But now, it can be achieved at the same time as kunai. If you can leave a mark on the telegraph pole in advance, you can arrive instantly, provided that you are within the range of the perception technique. No wonder so few people can learn the Flying Thunder God technique. In addition to knowing the sealing technique, you also need to learn the perception technique, or have the ability to perceive. Plus Schrodinger's spatial talent. S-level difficulty, well deserved. After mastering the Flying Thunder God technique, Zhao Yuchen learned that there are 2 prerequisites for performing this ninjutsu. Sealing and perception. Sealing technique is a means of making the mark of Flying Thunder God. In this way, a dedicated teleportation node, or space coordinates, is left. The perception technique is naturally used to sense the location of this imprint, so as to transfer oneself or objects there. Namikaze Minato has a wife from the Uzumaki family who is a Grandmaster Sealer, and Senju Tobarama has a sister-in-law from the Uzumaki family, so the sealer is naturally very good. In terms of perception skills, Namikaze Minato and Senju Tobarama also had outstanding performances during ninja battles, so they are naturally incomparable grandmasters. If you think about it carefully, if you don't know the perception technique, even if you can master the Flying Thunder God technique, you don't dare to use it lightly. After all, After you teleport over there, you might face enemy fire or traps. Only when you can grasp the surrounding situation while teleporting can you dare to play like this. As for the talent of spatial perception that is not explicitly mentioned, but is mysterious, it is definitely needed. Not to mention over the years, there are only a few people who have mastered the Flying Thunder God technique in Konoha. Let us say Sarutobi Hiruzen, Grandmaster S perception and sealing skills can T Flying Thunder God technique, it's definitely not enough. Let me be Grandmaster Flying Thunder God, this gift from the diary is really generous. Zhao Yuchen felt that the diary was really fragrant. What this gives is just an S-level time and space ninjutsu, as well as sealing technique, talent, perception technique, talent, and space talent, which are even rarer than ordinary blood successors. The only fly in the ointment is that there is a distance limit for teleportation, and it's not as invincible as I thought. Fortunately, only you can see the contents of the diary, otherwise it will be a big embarrassment. Standing on the electric pole with the cold wind blowing, Zhao Yuchen was embarrassed by his superficiality. When watching anime, he thought that Flying Thunder God technique is a magical skill. As long as enough marks are left, the ninja world can go everywhere. At most, the consumption of chakra varies according to the distance. But now it is known that the moving distance of the Flying Thunder God technique depends 100 times on the range of the perception technique. For example, the range of his perception technique is 50 meters from Fang Yuan, and he can feel the chakra situation in this area. Then if there is a Flying Thunder God imprint within 5 kilometers of Fang Yuan, he can sense it and teleport there. The amount of chakra that needs to be consumed depends on the quality of the moving object, and whether an object of the same mass is teleported to a distance of 100 meters or a kilometer, the consumption of chakra is similar. Purely as a body flicker technique, this ninjutsu does not consume much chakra. It sounds unbelievable, but when you think about it carefully, you find that this is reasonable. First of all, the nature of this technique is body flicker technique, not a secret technique. Secondly, Namikaze Minato was born as a commoner. If you don't count the half-nine tails you later owned, the amount of chakra might not even be as good as Kakashi without the Sharingan state. However, he had a record of defeating an army of 10,000 with one man, and even killed dozens of elite Jonin. There is also a single-person record of solving 50 Jonin enemies at once. Flying Thunder God technique is also a big eater of chakra, and he can't afford to play like this, and occasionally rub a ball. In addition, if the mark of Flying Thunder God can ignore the distance sensing, Namikaze Minato should sense the mark on Obito's body at the first time during the fourth battle of Namikaze Minato, instead of sensing the mark at close range after recognizing the opponent's identity. In addition, the three of Shiranui Genma teamed up to use the Flying Thunder God technique to teleport Terumi Mei, which not only required Tsunade to carry the mark in advance, but also required the command to provide perception support. These are very illustrative. I can only say that I took it for granted before. Zhao Yuchen sighed. It is not impossible to reach the level of free roaming in the ninja world. The range of perception depends on psychic energy and yin chakra. And he can get 1 card of chakra every day, which means that the range of perception will increase every day. When you have 1,000 calories of chakra, maybe it will be enough. If it doesn't work, try to learn Sage Mode, and the range of perception can be easily expanded hundreds of times. Konohagakure does not include the outer training ground, secret bases and forests. The area of the main urban area is 40 million square meters, which is equivalent to a circle with a radius of 3,600 meters. I stand in the center of the city, and I can teleport to any corner of existence. If you stand in front of the village gate, you have to move twice to get to Hokage Rock. It's not safe enough, I have to be cautious, and cautious. Zhao Yuchen kept admonishing himself in his heart. He is not in Versailles, but he really thinks so. In order to remind himself at all times, he even recorded these thoughts in a diary. Didn't mention Flying Thunder God, just wrote that my body flicker technique can only teleport up to 5,000 meters, which is still not safe enough. So, everywhere in the ninja world, several beauties rolled their eyes again. Fang Yuan can teleport within a range of 5,000 meters, time and space ninjutsu, isn't that strong enough? Isn't this Versailles? What is it? But the next moment, the eyes of the women holding the copy were fixed. Only because the contents of the diary changed again. Punch Ichiraku Ramen. Look who I met. Our anime hero, the Prince Uzumaki Naruto, the male second and second pillar Uchiha Sasuke, the heroine Sakurabi. As a teacher, let us call it Little Sakura. Although it is not surprising at all. Take a picture to commemorate it. Click. The back view of 3 people eating face JDP. The diary comes with a camera function. There is no update later. But the women who were reading the diary exploded one after another. Snapped. Yamanaka Ino unconsciously cut off a bouquet of flowers, his pupils dilated. Little Sakura is the heroine? I don't understand. I don't understand. I can't accept it either. As this cartoonist out of his mind. The content of the diary made Ino almost give birth to a second personality like little Sakura, and his heart roared. This morning, I snatched the opportunity to practice against Sasuke at school, and later mocked the little Sakura for having a wide forehead, and I was in a good mood. At noon, when I went home to see my father, Yamanaka Hayi, who had been on a mission at the border, my good mood continued to rise. In the evening, before dinner, I was helping my mother arrange flowers, and a copy of Zhao Yuchen's diary, Yamanaka Ino, suddenly appeared in front of me. As a member of the Yamanaka family who is good at mind control, and will be able to master the secret technique of spying on other people's thoughts in the future, Ino has a morbid hobby of spying on others' hearts, but he just endures it. Now the diary is strange. The protagonist is Yuchen, a school teacher who is more handsome than Sasuke in terms of appearance alone. She opened the diary without hesitation. Knowing that the world she is in is a fictional animation world, she frowned. Seeing Yuchen call Hinata's wife without any scruples, she was so excited that she curled her toes and felt a unique refreshing feeling of hitting the taboo CP. After reading all the content so far, she has fallen in love with this book. Fair and above board, peeping into other people's hearts, it's not too good. The good mood is so piled up that it is about to fly. But now, the good mood she maintained all day is gone. This manga hero is Uzumaki charming. How could it not be Sasuke? The family was wiped out, he was burdened with blood and hatred, he was talented and good looking. No matter how you looked at it, he was more in line with the setting of the protagonist in those novels. But it's the male second. Sasuke's male second is the male second, but why is the male lead Uzumaki Naruto? Although I don't hate him, my father also hinted that I don't want to speak out in the outside world. His future good partners Shikamaru and Choji are also good friends of Naruto. But how does he look like a hero? Not necessarily. Ino quickly calmed down, and his superb EQ began to work. This is her preconceived notion, and it is brought into a female perspective. But if the anime is not developed from a purely female perspective, or even a male perspective, the situation will be different. Think about what happened to Naruto since he was a child, but he has always been optimistic and wants to be recognized and become Hokage. And teacher Yuchen also mentioned that this world is Hokage ninja. In Sasuke's eyes, only becoming stronger and revenge. Could it be that this anime tells the story of how Naruto became stronger step by step, gradually gained the approval of the villagers, and finally became Hokage? Ino guessed the truth right away, but she was not sure herself. However, after accepting that Naruto is the protagonist, she once again became dissatisfied with the role of Sakura as the heroine. Why is little Sakura the heroine? With her wide forehead? Because of her small breasts? By virtue of her having 2 personalities? Is it because Naruto likes him? Hey, wait. After thinking wildly for a while, Ino suddenly grasped a key. That is, according to the plot development in general movies and romance novels, the hero and heroine will be together in the end. Thinking about the current situation carefully, Naruto, the first male, likes Sakura, the first female, and Sakura likes Sasuke, the second male. But after going through all kinds of things, the first female will choose to live happily with the first male, while the second male will end up miserable and find a spare tire to end the curtain. Doesn't it mean that little Sakura will end up with Naruto? After deducing the truth, Ino found that he was not so happy. In the study, girls are generally good looking, so they like teacher Sasuke or Yuchen. And little Sakura is a Sasuke control, and likes Sasuke wholeheartedly. And she, Yamanaka Ino, is half face value control plus Haruno Sakura competition control. It means that you don't like what you don't like, and you don't like what Haruno Sakura doesn't like. Only because the little Sakura has 2 personalities, she is a very special person in Ino's heart, so she is particularly concerned. But now, knowing in advance that Haruno Sakura will be with Naruto in the future, she not only has no desire to snatch it, but even feels a little pitiful for Haruno Sakura. Even if, she knows that according to normal logic analysis, Naruto's future achievement is definitely not easy, even becoming Hokage, and little Sakura is Mrs. Hokage. But she is still not envious, because she didn't call Naruto at all. And after confirming that little Sakura will not be with Sasuke, she feels a certain aura disappearing from the latter. Hey, I suddenly lost the goal of falling in love. Having said that, Naruto and little Sakura are the main male and female, and Sasuke is the second male. Based on the relationship between Sakura and I, it is likely to be the second female, and there is a high probability that I will be with Sasuke in the end. No, a man who was liked by little Sakura but couldn't get little Sakura, just a black-haired loser. Does she, Yamanaka Ino, want something that little Sakura doesn't want? Absolutely not. How about letting teacher Yu-chen accompany me? Ino suddenly had an idea, and the more he thought about it, the more he felt that this method was feasible. This can be. If Mr. Yu-chen is really a time traveler and knows our world like the back of his hand, he must know some good men. At that time, I am completely free to choose. If it doesn't work, let him pay me for himself and marry Yamanaka's family, huh? Not to mention liking. But after mastering the diary, Zhao Yu-chen became the most special person in Ino's heart. What she didn't realize was that the scene of herself talking to herself and changing expressions fell into the eyes of her parents. Hi-yi, look, this kid Ino has started again. Are you thinking about Sasuke? Your own daughter, don't you understand? Kids like to steal other people's things, and little Sakura is so special to Ino, so it's no wonder she is like this. But this time, I guess she really likes it. Oh. Who is it? Yu-chen Genin, Ino asked me to mention him before eating, as if he wanted to say it but dared not. Trigger the diary protection mechanism, the same as Hinata. Yu-chen? Yamanaka was taken aback, the name was no stranger to him. After all, the opponent is Mu-yi Fengyun, the youngest and weakest teacher in the history of Konoha, the only genin ninja school teacher. If you don't have a bit of chakra who can cast 3 body technique, kunai throwing skills are good and have superb knowledge, you can't become genin. This, isn't it appropriate? What's inappropriate? I'm 5 years older, mature, knowledgeable, and a super handsome guy. With the attributes of a mentor and apprentice, it's hard not to be liked. If you don't like their civilian status, it doesn't matter if you marry into the Yamanaka family. Yamanaka Hai. Ma'am, would you like to hear what you said at the end? Naruto-kun is the male one, and Haruno Sakura is the female one. Inside the Hyuga family's mansion, the worried Hinata quickly returned to her room after eating only 3 minutes full. When she opened the diary, she happened to see the updated content, and her face turned pale. The hazy emotions caused by yearning for Naruto disappeared at this moment. Like Ino, she thought that Naruto would end up with little Sakura. In other words, they are a match made in heaven, a match made in heaven. Actually, it's a matter of course, isn't it? Hinata gave a relieved smile. When she was 3 years old, she was kidnapped, but her father Hyuga Hiyashi arrived in time to save her and kill the gangster. But in the end, for some unknown reason, his second uncle, Hyuga Hizashi, the father of his cousin Hyuga Neji, paid for the gangster with his life. Her cousin Neji started to alienate her because of this, and she got lost in the village on the day of Hyuga Hizashi's burial, and it was Naruto who sent her back to the mansion. Then she entered the ninja school at the age of 6. When she was waiting at the gate to pick up her guard, she was bullied by some classmates who called her a white-eyed monster. It was Naruto who helped her get ahead, but she was beaten. She is grateful for this blonde-haired boy with a perpetual smile. Later, she competed with Hanabi, but because she didn't want to hurt her sister, she was caught and defeated. Hyuga Hiyashi was very disappointed in her and criticized her harshly, which also made her start to doubt herself. At this time, she accidentally found Naruto training hard in the forest. The tale of the crane in this school, the bad boy, who is mischievous and eye-catching in the village, trains extremely hard in private, just to be recognized by others. This spirit of persistence, optimism and boldness, as well as the forbearance of doing what she says, are exactly what she lacks. She longed for and admired her, so she began to observe secretly, becoming more and more yearning. But at the same time, she also knows how much Naruto likes Haruno Sakura. With Naruto's character of never giving up, it's not difficult to understand why he caught up with the opponent. It's just that Haruno Sakura likes Sasuke, and the two seem to have no future, so she has a little fantasy. But now that Zhao Yuchen's real hammer will finally get together, she will naturally no longer have any unrealistic ideas because of a longing. Naruto-kun, you are a good study object. I will work hard. Hinata secretly cheered herself up. At the same time, in a special space with golden light. Naruto, it's my little Naruto. Same hair color as Minato, same surname as mine. It should be the old man of 3rd generation to protect Naruto. After all, He is Minato's son and the new Nine Tails Jinchuriki. Uzumaki Kushina's long fiery red hair was scattered on his shoulders, his hands were clasped in front of his chest, his eyes were already moist, and he was more excited than Ino. Although she only saw a picture of the back, she had a feeling from the bottom of her heart that this Uzumaki Naruto was her son. After a long time, she finally calmed down, but joy appeared in her eyes. As the protagonist of some anime, little Naruto must be living a good life. The heroine, Haruno Sakura, is my future daughter-in-law? As expected of me and Minato's son, he knew how to take the initiative at such a young age. Hey. I don't know when I can meet. And this guy named Yu-Chen, can't you update a little more? Kushina kept complaining to the diary, her long red hair fluttering. In the dark, she realized that she should have been sleeping in the Pure Land, and would only wake up briefly when the chakra left in the Naruto seal was activated. But now she appears in Naruto's sealed space, and she can't take the initiative to get in touch with Naruto, so she can only rely on the diary to understand some external situations. I'm really going to suffocate people, I have to. Can't this Zhao Yu-Chen hurry up? At the same time, in the entire ninja world, countless people keep the name Uzumaki Naruto in their hearts. For the main character, they are not very touched. If you think about it carefully, if a story is unfolded from their perspective, or if someone records their life, just like the original ninja gods, they are also the absolute protagonists in the story. It's just that since Uzumaki Naruto is the protagonist of Hokage Ninja, it is very likely that he will be Hokage in the future. Hokage in the past dynasties is not simple, so it is necessary to pay attention to it. At this time, Zhao Yu-Chen has come to the curtain of the Ichiraku ramen shop and can hear the conversation inside. That little Sakura, what do you want to eat, may I treat you? It was through Uchiha Sasuke, Naruto asked Haruno Sakura, licking his face. But the latter didn't pay attention to the former's intention at all. Instead, he played with his hands a little shyly, and said with his throat closed, Zuo, Sasuke, what a coincidence, I met here, what flavor do you want, I can. Boss, is my face still not healed? Before little Sakura could finish speaking, Sasuke spoke impatiently. He was the first to arrive among the three, and he did not expect to be entangled by two flies. If it wasn't for the fact that the noodles were already in the pot, he wanted to eat quickly so that he could go to practice, so he would have already turned his face away. Sasuke, be polite to little Sakura. Naruto slapped the table. Crane end, idiot. What did you say? Naruto, please be polite to Sasuke. Haruno Sakura roared, you are not the tail of the crane. I. Naruto blushed suddenly and stammered, Sasuke, I want to fight you. Idiot. Sasuke dismissed it. Naruto still wanted to speak, but felt Haruno Sakura's gaze turned into a sharp blade, and immediately gave up. Seeing this scene, Handa quickly put a bowl of noodles in front of Sasuke, and at the same time smoothed things over. Naruto, do you still want a deluxe version? Huh. This is when. Naruto originally wanted to agree directly, but suddenly thought of something, took out his frog wallet and opened it. Oops, I ran out of money to buy paint for pranks. Naruto's face changed slightly. Seeing it with his hand, he immediately guessed what was going on, and said with a smile, Naruto, you are a regular customer, today uncle treats you to dinner. It's not good. Naruto scratched his head with his hands, feeling warm in his heart. The hand-slapping uncle is the only one in the village who treats him well, which makes him even more unwilling to take advantage of the other party. But in front of little Sakura, he didn't want to show the embarrassment that he couldn't even afford ramen. The small ramen shop suddenly fell silent, only the sound of hands hitting ramen. Zhao Yu-Chen witnessed this familiar scene with his own eyes and found it very interesting, so he recorded the whole process clearly in his diary. Although I am writing a diary, since there is a word count requirement, it is okay for me to reason about hydrology, right? Everything you see and hear is a diary. Of course, it is appropriate to match some of your own feelings. Tisk tisk tisk. Now Naruto really licks little Sakura. Little Sakura licks Sasuke like this, and Sasuke has a unique Uchiha family's degenerate brotherhood towards Naruto. A beautiful love triangle. If you win, you will be Hokage, if you lose, you will marry Sakura. Lick the dog. A love triangle. Seeing the updated content in the diary, several people couldn't sit still. The red peppers in the sealed space were the first to suffer, and they were fried directly. What the hell is the old man third generation doing? How can my child be a licking dog? Hey! The son of the fourth Hokage. The son of the hero who saved the village. To use Zhao Yuchen's ridicule, it can also be regarded as the Prince of Konoha. At the same time, with the power of 9 tails in hand, third generation will definitely teach them carefully. This kind of status actually acts as a licking dog for other women, and this woman is still licking others. As a mother, Kushina said she couldn't accept it. This Uchiha Sasuke should be Mikoto's second son, eh? If you win, you will be Hokage, if you lose, you will marry little Sakura. Is this the agreement between Naruto and Sasuke? One man and one woman. According to Zhao Yuchen, Naruto will be with this Haruno Sakura in the end, and he will become Hokage. It can be regarded as licking to the end, with everything that one expects. From the results, Naruto is the biggest winner in life. That's not bad, either. Kushina put her head in her hands, scratching her fiery red hair in annoyance. Angry Naruto doesn't argue, but she can't find anyone to talk to, so she can only explain herself. Damn it. Is there no way I can get in touch with this Yuchen? I really want to know what's going on. Reminder. Is it a man? Can you hurry up? In the Pure Land, there is a black, straight and beautiful young woman in her early 20s, who is similar to Kushina in her heart. She is none other than Uchiha Sasuke's mother, Uchiha Mikoto. For Sasuke being liked by girls, she knows it well and is not surprised. But she couldn't understand, how could Sasuke have sour brotherhood towards Naruto? The Uchiha family is very loving, and the big brother usually takes good care of the younger brother. Shisui is like this to Itachi, and Itachi is like this to Sasuke, and she has seen many living examples. But what is the relationship between Naruto and Sasuke? Naruto, it should be the child of Minato and Kushina. If Kushina knew how Naruto was treated in the village, he would definitely go berserk. Because of the third generation's warning, our family can't get close to Jinchuriki. I haven't talked to Naruto, but I also warned Sasuke not to look at Naruto with different eyes, but with kindness. Could it be that after Fugaku and I died, Sasuke was excluded by the tribe, so he has a good relationship with Naruto? Mikoto and Fugaku don't know that the entire Uchiha clan has been wiped out. From their point of view, Itachi's choice was to massacre those members of the Hawks and their immediate family members. After these people were killed, the rest of Uchiha's tribe could only protect themselves without the ability of a coup d'état. At the same time, they could no longer manage the Konoha guard, so the village could rest assured. As the patriarch and the patriarch's wife, they can provide Itachi with an excuse to take action after being killed, and at the same time allow Sasuke to grow up in a peaceful environment in the village. This is Itachi finding the way for the village and Uchiha to coexist, and for Uchiha to still be honored. As parents, they choose to support. The only worry is that Sasuke will be squeezed out by the surviving clan. Looking at it now, it seems that this situation really exists, otherwise, how could Sasuke and Naruto have a bad brotherhood? How did Uchiha Mikoto know that Sasuke and Naruto have been entangled in fate for thousands of years, and it is the deepest love of Uchiha's ancestor Indra to his younger brother Ashura? Can't you write more and let me know more about Sasuke's current situation? As an ultimate gentle woman, Mikoto also dislikes Zhao Yuchen's lack of updates just like Kushina. Can't you use a little more force to satisfy people? Zhao Yuchen didn't know about all this, otherwise he had to prove himself. This time, he decided to show the image of a good teacher and seize Iruka's place in Naruto's heart. You only need to give some care and recognition, and you can be taken into the heart of the future 7th generation project. In the future, your status will be detached, and you will always be under the quilt. Is there any investment with a higher rate of return than this in the ninja world? Until the arrival of the Otsutsuki clan, he can keep his diary in peace. Even if Naruto marries someone in the future, it is not impossible for him to play the role of Kushina's husband, the role of Naruto's father. Boss. Today's consumption of these 3 children will be paid by Mr. Zhao. Zhao Yuchen opened the curtain and walked into the shop, and sat down on the seat next to Naruto with a gentle smile on his face. Teacher Yuchen. Seeing Zhao Yuchen, the 3 of them greeted each other quickly, and Sasuke was no exception. The second pillar is just aloof, but there is no problem with basic etiquette. He was, after all, of the noble Uchiha clan. I didn't expect to meet the 3 of you here. Are you dating? Zhao Yuchen teased. The little Sakura suddenly became coy, secretly looking at Sasuke's expression. Naruto scratched his head and said shyly, Mr. Yuchen, you have a good eye. I'm dating little Sakura. Boom. As soon as Naruto finished speaking, he was hit hard on the head. Don't talk nonsense to me. With an imageless roar, little Sakura began to wriggle again. Obviously it's me and Sasuke-kun. Idiot, boring. Sasuke looked disgusted. Haha, interesting. Zhao Yuchen let out a hearty laugh. From Naruto's point of view, what Sakura will do in the future is very green. But from the perspective of little Sakura, it will really annoy Naruto. Just imagine that you are pursued by someone you don't like, or even hated by many people. Can you be happy? Sasuke hates little Sakura, that's pretty much what it means. Zhao Yuchen only thinks that this class of Future 7 is very interesting. You guys are really alive. Smiling, Zhao Yuchen called his opponent again and said, "Boss, I want the deluxe version, and I'll pay for it." Hold on. Some teachers paid for treats, but they didn't insist on doing charity. Hey, does Yuchen-sensei also like to eat Ichiraku ramen? It was rare for Naruto to give up licking little Sakura, so he chatted with Zhao Yuchen nervously. There are not many people in the village who look at him with straight eyes, and he keeps everyone in mind. Before today, Zhao Yuchen was just an enviable teacher to him. Because Zhao Yuchen is extremely good-looking, knowledgeable, gentle, and can easily get the attention he craves most. But now, Zhao Yuchen invited him to eat luxurious Ichiraku ramen, and he looked at him peacefully, without any emotion of dislike or disgust. This made him feel hopeful. Maybe teacher Yuchen doesn't hate himself either? Eye contact with Naruto touched Zhao Yuchen's heart. After all, he is the protagonist of a hot-blooded show who accompanied him throughout his youth and watched him grow up like a son. He does come with different emotions. As expected of Naruto, I have the urge to adopt you as my stepson. Sarutobi Hiruzen, stinky monkey, you are so damned. Looking at the diary, all the girls, Kushina. Stepson. In the sealed space, when Kushina saw this sentence, the CPU was blown out. A stepson is not an adopted son. Zhao Yuchen wants to adopt Naruto as a stepson, so he has to become Naruto's stepfather. And that would have to marry her Kushina. This traverser actually conspired against him? No, just now he called Hinata's wife, and the one he likes is obviously Hinata, so stepson, it should be a clerical error, eh? After a while of shame and annoyance, Kushina felt that her thoughts were too narcissistic. She is a dead person, although I don't know why I can get a copy of Zhao Yuchen's diary and resurrect in a unique way, but how could Zhao Yuchen have thoughts about the dead? It must be a typo. But I want to take Naruto as my stepson, so why are you scolding third generation? Kushina couldn't figure out why Zhao Yuchen was so angry with Sarutobi Hiruzen. Naruto is the protagonist, and it can be Hokage in the future. Isn't it good that it is not watched by third generation? At this time, she saw another line appear in the diary. Find an opportunity to tell Naruto the true face of the stinky monkey. You can be optimistic, you can want to be Hokage, but you must know the true face of Sarutobi Hiruzen, don't be foolish and respectful. The real face of Sarutobi Hiruzen? What's the real face? You should say it quickly. A bad premonition faintly rose in Kushina's heart, that Zhao Yuchen didn't write a follow-up. The broken chapter dog will die badly, oh. At this time, Zhao Yuchen smiled at Naruto. I often hear you say that Ichiraku ramen is very good, so I want to try it. This is the truth, he has been curious about the taste of Ichiraku ramen since another world. Really? Naruto was surprised. For the first time in his life, someone would actually try something because of his words. Teachers don't lie to their students. Zhao Yuchen laughed. Uncle, you see, I am also trying to attract customers for you. Naruto greeted his hand with a red face. Thank you, Naruto. I have the opportunity to give you a discount. Hand smiled. Then I'm not welcome. Naruto said happily, but uncle, you have to work hard this time. Don't worry. I won't embarrass Naruto. Ms. Yuchen, trust me, you will definitely fall in love with Ichiraku ramen. Wait and see. The two chatted with each other. Idiot. The corner of Sasuke's mouth twitched slightly. The voice of speaking can only be heard by himself, but the speed of eating noodles has slowed down. It's definitely not that I want to feel more of this atmosphere, it's just that the ramen is hot. I'm gonna start now. The 3 bowls of noodles were served together, and Zhao Yuchen imitated Naruto and prayed, and then started the eating mode. Not bad. It's really good. After a quarter of an hour, Zhao Yuchen patted his belly in satisfaction. He has eaten a lot of island-style ramen, and Ichiraku ramen really has a special flavor. But he was born in a gourmet empire, and he has eaten countless delicacies, and Ichiraku ramen can only be considered good. But when Naruto heard the words, he felt that he was recognized and was very happy. Yes, I just said that Ichiraku ramen is delicious, Mr. Yuchen. You can come here often in the future, come on. I come here often, so I can treat you to dinner often, can't I? Zhao Yuchen joked. This was a feeling Naruto had never experienced before. His nose was sour, and he smiled. If Teacher Yuchen is generous, I will definitely not refuse. Only a fool refuses to accept a person who treats him well. Zhao Yuchen still wanted to continue teasing, but suddenly felt a sense of prying eyes. Third generation. Knowing that Sarutobi Hiruzen is monitoring Naruto on a daily basis, Zhao Yuchen didn't want to get too much attention, so he said with a serious expression, "Then Naruto, you can save more money to buy paint, are you playing pranks everywhere?" This change of face can be called a teacher's unique skill. Naruto was dumbfounded, with a stiff smile. Zhao Yuchen snorted coldly. "Naruto, you are messing around again, I will punish you for writing a 10,000-word review." He always keeps a minimum of 1,000 characters in his diary, so there is nothing wrong with starting with 4,000 characters, right? Why? Naruto trembled all over, looking at Zhao Yuchen as if looking at a prehistoric beast. Teacher Yuchen and Teacher Iruka only punished me for writing 1,000 words. Iruka is Iruka, and will he treat you to Ichiraku ramen first like I did? This and that. Naruto panicked. Rolling his eyes, he suddenly smiled at Zhao Yuchen. "Mr. Yuchen, I'll show you something good, how about you just let me go?" Huh. Zhao Yuchen vaguely guessed something, coughed lightly, and said, "Bribing the teacher is a more serious crime. I will take you to see the Lord Third Generation." "Don't." Naruto pleaded. "Teacher, I will definitely correct it, this time forget it." "No. Then teacher, don't blame me." Naruto suddenly closed his seal. Boom. A puff of smoke filled the air. A graceful figure appeared, and every detail reached the ultimate in the world. Teacher Yuchen. The charming voice sounded, and the eyes sparkled. Mist grass. Zhao Yuchen felt a heat in his abdomen. Even though he has read countless films and has hundreds of gigabytes of learning materials, he also has a feeling of increasing his knowledge at this time. This is perfect. He pretended to faint on the table. The hand that was pulling the noodles sprayed nosebleeds and fainted. Idiot. The female version of mature Naruto made Sasuke flush and fall out of the shop. Haruno Sakura, who had seen this ninjutsu all the time, was dumbfounded. Naruto's transformation technique is outrageous. And Sasuke actually reacted, could it be his figure? She glanced down and could clearly see her feet. Damn it, I want papaya for dinner. Seduction technique, success. Naruto smiled charmingly, released the transformation state, and then ran out of the shop. Mr. Yuchen, see you tomorrow. The voice came from afar. Zhao Yuchen did not wake up, but complained in the diary. As expected of Naruto's self-invention, it can instantly kill third generation and Jiraiya, and in the future, it will also show flaws in the Super S-Class ninjutsu basic version. If it weren't for my rich experience, I have seen my father, my mother, hospitals, and warships, and I have a wealth of knowledge reserves, otherwise I almost couldn't handle it. To see this kind of ninjutsu, it is not in vain for me to invite Naruto to eat ramen. When he learns multiple shadow clone, I have to experience the power of the advanced version. As soon as this news came out, countless women who were distracted by the contents of the diary were shocked. As a ninja, collecting and analyzing intelligence is a compulsory course. It is not difficult to see from Zhao Yuchen's statement that Naruto is still a ninja school student. The system of Konoha Shinobi School is to enter school at the age of 6 and study for 6 years. In other words, Naruto will never be older than 12 years old. It is too scary to be able to invent the basic version of Super S-rank ninjutsu at this age, and also have the effect of instantly killing the strongest Hokage and Jiraiya, one of the Sannin. Is this the protagonist? Let the concubine reveal her flaws? In the first ball space sealed by the moon, Otsutsuki Kaguya's white eyes flashed strange colors. How can it be? Otsutsuki Kaguya, from the universe-class Otsutsuki family. She is the ancestor of Chakra, the empress who unified the ninja empire thousands of years ago, and is honored as the goddess of Mao. Blessed by the people, she used the 10 Tails Jinchuriki to create the twins, the future sage of 6 paths Otsutsuki Yuya and the immortal Otsutsuki Hamura. Because of some misunderstandings and conspiracy, she was sealed in Shichu space by her 2 sons. Years don't pass by, and she doesn't know how long the outside world has passed, she has been sleeping deeply. Until Zhao Yuchen's diary, copy of Otsutsuki Kaguya, suddenly appeared. Even though she was sealed and deprived of her power, she still had 6 paths level eyesight, but she couldn't see through the diary. The ordinary appearance, on the contrary, shows the mystery and power of this diary, and she seems to understand the contents written in it. She doesn't know what anime is, and she only has some guesses about time travel. It may be a wedge-like seizure, and the so-called alien race must be the Otsutsuki family and even the main family who came to her to hold her accountable. Zhao Yuchen protagonist Uzumaki Naruto will fight her, indicating that Black Zetsu successfully released her from the seal. But after the existence of Zhao Yuchen, a variable who knows everything is hard to say. But now, she was shocked by the contents of the diary. If she can be resurrected, she will definitely restore the blood succession snare and start the reincarnation Sharingan. Attribute ninjutsu has no effect on her, illusion cannot affect her, only physical and sealing techniques are feasible. Perhaps, it's Yuya's method. Otsutsuki Kagaya had deep eyes. If Zhao Yuchen knew what Otsutsuki Kagaya was thinking now, he would be very surprised. The legendary ancestor of Silly White Sweet can still have such a clear conditioning analysis. In fact, Otsutsuki Kagaya only has the arrogance of the Otsutsuki family, and likes to rely on strength to speak. Now that she has no strength, she can only use her brain, so naturally she is not weak. Unfortunately, Zhao Yuchen didn't know about it. Sensing the disappearance of the prying intent above his head, he knew that most of our third-generation adults were killed by Naruto in a flash, and he didn't have the energy to pay attention to him anymore, so he slowly raised his head. Just in time to hit the hand that stood up with the support of Chongpu, the two looked at each other and smiled. "Boss, put the money with you." Zhao Yuchen took out a stack of banknotes from his pocket and put it in front of the hand type. Looking at the thickness, it is about 10,000 taels, which is enough to eat 50 bowls of ordinary Ichiraku ramen. What does that mean? Handa asked puzzled. Pre-deposit. Zhao Yuchen smiled and said, if my students come here to eat noodles in the future, they can be deducted from my account. It is my teacher's treat to ensure that they are full. His students pointed out that there are only 200 to 300 students in the 6th grade mindfulness classes in ninja school. Except for a few people such as Naruto, they don't eat ramen very often. A little money is nothing to him, a traveler. If you can use small favors to build the simplest network of contacts and make yourself more comfortable lying in Konoha, that is blood money. You are really a good teacher. Handa happily accepted the money. Except for Naruto, students who can study in the ninja school will not be short of his bowl of noodles. Zhao Yuchen did this for Naruto's sake, but he chose a method that didn't hurt his self-esteem. This is a great teacher who really cares about his students. If you run out of money, you can tell me, and I will continue to make up. Seeing that the beating was obviously a misunderstanding, Zhao Yuchen didn't explain it either. It would be even better if the other party told Naruto inadvertently and let him be moved by misunderstanding. You are a good teacher. If you come here to eat ramen in the future, you will get a 20% discount, he said seriously. Zhao Yuchen did not refuse, and left with a smile. After he left, Shota couldn't help sighing. What a good man. It is definitely a kind person who cannot follow the crowd and be hostile to Naruto. At this time, the door curtain was lifted, and a petite figure entered the shop accompanied by Feng Ling. Welcome. What do you want to eat? Handy showed his signature smile, but there was suspicion in his eyes. Just because the person who came was a lovely girl with pure white and flawless eyes. No one knows what these eyes represent in Konoha, or in the whole ninja world. Konoha Hauzu Hyuga, the pupil art blood successor limit tied with Sharingan. People from this kind of big family usually don't come to eat at his small noodle shop. Hello. I want a deluxe version of ramen, the girl said timidly. If it weren't for the quietness in the shop, I almost didn't hear the hand beating. Hello. A deluxe version of ramen, please sit down. Hearing this, the girl glanced at the 5 empty seats, and finally the lady sat in the rightmost seat, and then began to look forward to it. Ms. Yuchen has longed to try the ramen in another world. The taste should be very good. It was Hyuga Hinata who came. After learning from the diary that Zhao Yuchen came to Ichiraku ramen for dinner, he came to the neighborhood by accident and hid in the dark with his white eyes to observe secretly. But seeing how delicious the 4 of Zhao Yuchen's food was, and she was only a third full from dinner, she soon felt hungry. Driven by curiosity, she left Zhao Yuchen and came here. Oops. While waiting quietly, Hinata suddenly realized a fatal problem, and his face turned pale. Because she was in a hurry to come out, and she had no habit of eating outside since she was a child, she didn't bring any money. Normally, she could ask her guards to pay, but she sneaked out without a guard. In other words, when the bill is due, she may ask for credit. Ms. Hyuga's main family eats Ichiraku ramen on credit? If this news gets out, Hyuga's family will definitely become a laughingstock. At that time, her father and family members will be more and more disappointed with her. Thinking of this, Hinata was about to faint. At this time, the hand-slapped daughter Calamus suddenly remembered Zhao Yuchen's instructions, and asked, "Little sister, are you a 6th grade student at ninja school?" Hinata looks like she's in 4th or 5th grade, but she could be in 6th grade. Yes, it is. Seeing that the questioner was a beautiful young lady, Hinata mustered up the courage to respond. "Is Yuchen your teacher?" Calamus confirmed. "Yeah." Hinata nodded. "Then you don't need to pay for this bowl of noodles." Chongpu smiled. "Why?" Hinata was dumbfounded. Was it Goddess Azuki who heard her prayer and sent her grace to rescue her? "Your teacher Yuchen left a lot of money here, saying that he would treat his students to eat noodles," Chongpu explained. After hearing the cause and effect, Hinata secretly rejoiced. Teacher Yuchen really saved her life. "Be sure to eat well, Yuchen has left enough money here." He opened his hand and joked. Huh. Hinata froze again. She is more concerned about the word, eat enough. Could it be that teacher Yuchen specially ordered it? If so, her face flushed, and she asked uncertainly, "Yes, did Yuchen specifically order it?" "That's right." Nodding his hand. Zhao Yuchen has saved a lot of money to treat students with him, which can be described as super generous. He must make a name for the other party. Shouldn't you be full? It really is. Hinata obviously misunderstood something, and almost passed out again. If Zhao Yuchen really knows everything about the world and calls her wife, he must know her well and know how much she really eats. A girl can eat so much, but she is not a lady at all. So Zhao Yuchen knew she was coming, and it was intentional, right? After the shyness passed, Hinata's white eyes flashed black air. As a time traveler, knowing a girl's secret, can he bully someone like this? Since teacher Yuchen knew about it and ordered it specifically, I don't need to endure it any longer, and feel wrong. Taking a deep breath, Hinata said seriously, "Manager, please prepare 10 bowls for me at a time. All or deluxe versions." Hand type. Yuchen Genin, Master Hokage summons. Zhao Yuchen didn't know what happened in the Ichiraku ramen restaurant. Otherwise he would definitely go back and appreciate how Hinata ate so much ramen in one go. He was walking home when a purple-haired woman wearing an animal mask, a combat vest and a long sword suddenly appeared in front of him. It was Hokage Anbu. I don't know if it's an illusion, but he always felt that the way Anbu looked at him was a bit weird. Looking at the figure and long hair, it should be a woman. Could it be that Laozi is too handsome and has taken a fancy to me? With narcissistic thoughts in his heart, Zhao Yuchen took out a pair of flat glasses from his pocket with a gentle smile on his face, then nodded and said, "I'll go right away." With that, he changed direction and walked towards the Hokage building. Needless to say, Sarutobi Hiruzen must have approached Naruto for his act of treating him to ramen. You have to pay attention to this level of contact, but he is really suspicious of a perfect implementer of the will of fire, like him. But it is also good. Go to the Hokage building now to leave a flying thunder god imprint, so that you can hurry and make troubles later. He can aspire to be the man of 5th Hokage. Of course, he didn't know that 5th Hokage, 5th Mizukage and other beauties are all fish he fancy, and he will raise them in his own sea in the future. Thinking of the beauties, Zhao Yuchen suddenly realized something, and turned to look at Anbu who had sent orders to him. I saw the other party jumping high and landing on the roof, and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Purple hair fluttering, the figure under the moonlight is very illusory. It's not running away, it's Azuki Xian. Zhao Yuchen guessed the other party's identity. It was Yuguang Gailfeng's childhood sweetheart, a beautiful royal sister Zi Chongzi, with first-class swordsmanship or knife skills. Hokage Ninja Shippuden. Tisk tisk tisk, your wife. I raised her, don't worry about it. Seeing this sentence, many women frowned in doubt. What inexplicable words is this traverser talking about? Master Hokage. Konoha said it was a village, but it was actually a town. But Zhao Yuchen arrived at the Hokage office in less than half a quarter of an hour by foot from Genin. Sarutobi Hiruzen buried his face behind a puff of smoke, and made a movement of collecting things. It must be peeping with a telescope technique. Zhao Yuchen thought maliciously. Yuchen is here. Sarutobi Hiruzen smiled. He has always been kind to his absolute followers who perfectly comprehend the will of fire. How about the teaching work at the ninja school? With your guidance, the work is very smooth, and the students are also studying hard. Is the written test paper for the graduation exam ready in a week? 3 spare copies have been prepared, and they will be delivered tomorrow. It will be up to you, Mr. Hokage, to decide. How is your practice recently? Thanks to the advanced chakra refining technique taught by you, Master Hokage, I can now perform 3 rounds of 3 body technique without feeling tired. Zhao Yuchen raised his head, with expressions of gratitude and excitement on his face. Mere acting was his specialty before time travel, and he was able to grasp it with his hands. Sarutobi Hiruzen. Yuchen is good at everything, but the ninja talent is really annoying, otherwise he can be entrusted with important tasks. But being weak also has its advantages, cough. With a light cough, Sarutobi Hiruzen changed the subject flexibly. The two chatted one after another. Zhao Yuchen felt Master Hokage's attention, his body gradually relaxed, and his eyes were full of enthusiasm. Sarutobi Hiruzen also felt more and more satisfied. But in a hidden place, Azuki Shien's mouth hidden under the mask was twitching. Smelly monkey, dead monkey, old monkey, just wait and play with me. Obviously I was curious about why I treated Naruto so well, and even invited him to eat noodles, but I kept ignoring it, pretending to care instead. Is it tiring to act with you? Do you pay reimbursement notice fees? Old monkey, you are really hypocritical. Speaking of hypocrisy, are you any better off? Maoyue Xian secretly slandered in her heart. That's right, she also has a copy of Zhao Yuchen's diary, which suddenly appeared in the change of underwear in the shower not long ago. I thought it was a prank by some pervert, but after opening it to check the contents, I learned something terrible. But as Anbu, who is loyal to the flame, she wanted to report the diary to Sarutobi Hiruzen. But as soon as the idea came up, the breath of death came, making her kill the idea. Anyway, Yuchen didn't have any ill intentions towards Konoha, so he had an extra channel to understand the secrets of the ninja world. And the other party is already invincible, she has no reason to offend. It would be great if the 5th generation project is in power now. 5th generation project? Azuki's eyes face became serious. As Anbu, she knows that although Sarutobi Hiruzen is old, he is actually in good health, and she has no intention of retiring. No accident, it is not a problem for him to be a Hokage for another 5 or 10 years. She also knew that Sarutobi Hiruzen preferred his son Sarutobi Asuma to be the next Hokage. Because Sarutobi Hiruzen has hinted to her more than once, hoping that she will remain loyal in the future. But judging from Zhao Yuchen's attitude towards Sarutobi Hiruzen, he definitely won't like Sarutobi Asuma either. But he was able to say such a thing as devoting himself to everything. 5th generation is not Sarutobi Asuma, but a person whom Zhao Yuchen admires. Azuki Shion immediately began to analyze. She is loyal to Konoha and therefore Hokage, but not to Sarutobi Hiruzen. If she can know the identity of 5th Hokage in advance, she can make targeted plans. Others are also curious about 5th Hokage's identity for various reasons. But when they were expecting Zhao Yuchen to explain the answer, they found that he continued to complain and stopped mentioning 5th Hokage. Damn broken dog. Many women cursed in their hearts. In this way, half an hour passed. Just when Zhao Yuchen couldn't bear it anymore, Sarutobi Hiruzen asked suddenly, "Have you let go of your concern for Naruto?" The background created by the diary for Zhao Yuchen's body is similar to that of Amino Iruka except that he is so good looking that he can barely threaten the grandparents who read the book. Teachers, parents died in the Nine Tails Rebellion, etc. Finally getting to the point, Zhao Yuchen cheered in his heart and pushed his glasses. Yes, Lord Hokage. Zhao Yuchen said earnestly. Naruto has never felt the love of his parents. People in the village, including me, all respect him at a distance and even hate him because of what happened back then. He can only gain attention through pranks. I used to hate him. Until I understand the true meaning of the will of fire. Zhao Yuchen raised his head suddenly, his eyes were wild, and he said seriously, "Where the leaves dance, the fire is also alive. As a teacher and as a senior, I should let go of my prejudices and set an example so that Naruto can love the village and be a good ninja." Sarutobi Hiruzen, you stole my lines. Azuki Shion glanced at the diary, and the corner of her mouth twitched violently. You're so pretty. Ha ha ha. The old monkey was really dumbfounded. The old monkey must be thinking. Why did you say what I wanted to say? Actually, these are the lines of the old monkey. Where the leaves dance, the fire is also endless. Slogan is a good slogan, belief is a good belief, but it was completed by your old CPU master as a pyramid scheme. Whether it's Uchiha Itachi, Namikaze Minato, or Naruto, they're all limped by you. Zhao Yuchen used the diary recording function to capture Sarutobi Hiruzen's bewildered moment, and then uploaded it with one click. Looking at these contents is also a kind of pastime when you have nothing to do in the future. But he didn't know that these contents changed the expressions of many women. In a certain tavern, a woman with long light yellow hair combed into a big ponytail, a blue-purple mark on her forehead, and glowing white skin put her raised pet bear Big Bear E on the wine table, with a sneer at the corner of her mouth. Where the leaves dance, is the fire endless. Shizune, doesn't that sound ridiculous? Said. The woman took a sip of wine. Sitting next to her was a straight black girl holding a pink piglet, that is, Shizune, who rarely mustered up the courage to say, Master Tsunade, I think what Zhao Yuchen said is good, the slogan is a good slogan, and the belief is a good belief. But, just. After all, she dared not choreograph Hokage. But she called Master Tsunade, who is one of the Konoha Sannin, Tsunadeheim, who had no worries in this regard, and said bluntly, it's just that the old man used it to ignore Hiroto and use it as a political weapon. It's very dirty. Shizune smiled apologetically, embarrassed to answer. Tsunade didn't bother with this matter. It was because she saw through all this and was extremely disappointed with the village or third Hokage that she chose to leave, even though the Nine Tails Rebellion did not go back. Tell me, who is the fifth Hokage mentioned by the Traverser? Tsunade rested his chin with one hand, his face was flushed from drinking a lot of wine, and his eyes were full of thoughts. Fifth Hokage must be a good person to make a time traveler say his best. But I thought about the whole Konoha, but there is no suitable candidate. Could it be the younger generation? The position of Hokage is not something that can be done casually. Networks, strength, personal reputation, etc., are all indispensable. Could it be you, Master Tsunade? Shizune joked. I don't think this time traveler is a good person. How could I be a fifth generation? Something like Hokage, huh? Tsunade sneered, with a flash of sadness and loneliness in his eyes. If you want me to say, it might be Jiraiya. Tsunade stroked the copy of the diary in front of him, and said slightly drunk, birds of a feather flock together and cherish each other. Hearing this, Shizune nodded in agreement. Zhao Yuchen made no secret of his desire to open a harem. Although this kind of thing often happens among noble groups, ninjas rarely happen because of their professional attributes. So they think that this is a bad guy. Speaking of which, have you researched the reason why we can get these two copies? I'm sorry, Master Tsunade, but now we only know that we can mention the diary to each other. Well, let's do some research. I think there will be many people who will get a copy of the diary, and I don't know what shocking words Zhao Yuchen will say, so we should prepare in advance. As you order, Master Tsunade. On the other side, in Hokage's office. Yuchen, you are very nice. The lines were robbed, and Sarutobi Hiruzen choked hard. But looking at Zhao Yuchen's expression of fanatical admiration, he didn't feel any dissatisfaction in his heart. Such a loyal subordinate, which leader would not like it? Although the strength is not good, it can play a greater value in ninja school. The will of fire comes out of Zhao Yuchen's mouth and penetrates into the hearts of every student, and they will be more loyal to existence, loyal to his Hokage, won't they? Because Zhao Yuchen implements the will of fire in his mouth, he can even avoid going to the ninja school to give speeches. In the future, you can treat Naruto better. Thank you for your concern. Sarutobi Hiruzen put down his pipe and said, I believe that you will be able to carry out the will of fire. Yes, Lord Hokage. Zhao Yuchen smiled excitedly. The excitement is fake, but the smile is real. What is unexpected joy? This is. I really didn't expect that the old monkey actually planned to let me take over the position of Iruka in the original book, and become a fetter in Naruto's heart, deepening his loyalty to the village. It's in my arms. Congratulations, this stinky monkey is really not a good person. Seeing Zhao Yuchen's directional words, Kushina gritted her teeth with a very ugly expression. Although she is not a perfect Jinchuriki, and she has not awakened Kagura's mind, she can use the adamantine sealing chains to capture the power of Nine Tails and enter the golden body mode for a short time. So her intuition is very accurate, and she can slightly feel the emotions contained in chakra, such as kindness and malice. Third generation Sarutobi Hiruzen is not as majestic as he appears on the surface. Although she doesn't understand politics, she heard something from Namikaze Minato. For example, after the third generation resigned, they still controlled Anbu on the grounds that Namikaze Minato was young and inexperienced to intervene in village affairs. Namikaze Minato didn't take it too seriously because the other party was his teacher and he was indeed young. Now it seems that this old monkey has some problems with his character. It seems that Naruto's life may not be as good as I thought. What is the old monkey planning on him? Damn it, is there no way for me to get in touch with the outside world, or Zhao Yuchen? Kushina was very upset inside. She thought that Naruto, as the protagonist, would be the winner in life in the end, and she was quite happy in her heart. But now, the bad premonition in her heart became more and more intense. Zhao Yuchen didn't know what Kushina was thinking. After another pledge of loyalty to Sarutobi Hiruzen, he hikes home. Meanwhile, Ichiraku Ramen Restaurant. Thank you for hospitality. Hinata finished fighting for more than an hour, stroking her belly contentedly. Since she could remember, this was the first time she was really full. She usually only eats 4 to 5 cents full. Even if Hanabi sneaks food to her later, it is only 7 cents at most. As for stealing food, this is simply impossible in the Hyuga clan, who are all white-eyed. Born in the famous Hyuga family, she is still the eldest lady of the main family, and she needs to maintain her image all the time. It's really rare to be full. Welcome to come again next time. Calamus showed a complicated smile. Hinata's complexion was reddish. Dang even didn't stay any longer, said goodbye and left the shop. Seeing her leaving back, Sho Da finally came back to his senses, looked at the stack of almost 20 large bowls in front of him, swallowed and said, Calamus, I think if there is a big stomach king competition, Naruto is not like this the rival of the Hyuga girl. Yes, it's a bit of an exaggeration. Calamus nodded, and then guessed. Father, you said that Mr. Yuchen saved money in advance. Did you know about it in advance? I think it's possible. Hand nodded. Well, another person misunderstood. By the way, girls are thin-skinned, so don't talk about it. She thought for a while and said. I know this better than you. Calamus rolled his eyes. Unbeknownst to the father and daughter, a Hyuga man was relieved by their decision. 5 minutes later. Inside the Hyuga mansion, Hyuga Hiyashi receives the message. He has always paid attention to maintaining his image and is as calm as a mountain, showing a surprised expression. How many bowls of noodles do you think Hinata ate? It's outrageous. Could it be that Hinata can't beat Hanabi, not only because of his personality, but also because he hasn't had enough to eat? Master, 20 bowls of noodles are all deluxe versions. Hyuga Branch House Jonin, who was in charge of secretly guarding Hinata's safety, reported respectfully. His expression was very calm, because with the bowls stacked one after another in front of Hinata, the shock had already appeared, even numb. He really couldn't imagine that Mrs. Hinata, who is usually so gentle and ladylike, a girl who is only 12 years old, can have such an appetite. Hyuga Hiyashi, who received an affirmative answer, became more and more speechless. Dinner. How much did she eat today? Hyuga Hiyashi thought that he had criticized Hinata this afternoon. With the latter's temperament, it is not impossible to eat less at night because of sadness. Even so, eating 20 bowls of ramen in one go is outrageous, but there is always a reason, isn't it? Master Hinata tonight. The guard carefully stated the type and quantity of food Hinata used at night, and finally added, compared to the past, it has indeed decreased, but it is more than the second lady and Master Neji of the branch house. Hyuga Hiyashi was completely speechless. Co-author Hinata does eat less because of being sad, but also quite a lot. Their Hyuga family is famous in the ninja world for their white eyes, and they created the accompanying body art Gentle Fist. Whether it is the chakra that needs to be consumed in the use of the pupil technique, or the physical strength that needs to be consumed in the practice of the physical technique, a lot of food is needed. As a rich family, their 3 meals a day can be quite a lot, even second only to the Akamichi family. So Hinata usually eats a lot, and I didn't expect that she would not eat enough. But the fact that there are 20 bowls of Ichiraku ramen is there. Pretend not to know. Hyuga Hiyashi thought for a while and said, in a few days, after Hinata graduates, increase her monthly pocket money so that she can go to the village for more activities. If Hinata is still young, although he feels a little weird, he will still improve Hinata's 3 meals. But now, he has approached 3rd generation to arrange a suitable teacher for Hinata. In the future, Hinata needs to go out to complete tasks, and there will be a new social circle. What about food? Solve it yourself. However, there is no need to explain this to a guard. Yes. The guard stepped back. Meanwhile, Hinata is taking a bath. A little face was flushed, and I don't know if I was shy thinking of something, or because I was blown by the heat. Strange, eating so much, why doesn't my stomach bloat like Hanabi? Where did all this energy go? If Zhao Yuchen hears this, he will definitely tell her. Of course it was eaten by your 2 pet bears. It's a pity that Zhao Yuchen didn't know about it. Instead, he fell in front of the case and made the final summary of the day. Traveling through the first day. I was an orphan in my previous life, and I didn't make many real friends in the entertainment industry, so I can adapt to life in a different environment. I saw Naruto, Nijuja, Haruno Sakura, Shuta, Iris, Sarutobi Old Monkey, Azuki Yugo, and Shien's wife. It feels good. The fictional characters in these anime appear alive before my eyes, making me feel the reality of this world, and I will live a good life in the future. The most surprising thing is to gain extraordinary power. If people from the original world know about it, they will definitely be envious, ha ha ha. I will live well every day in the future. I hope to marry more beautiful women, such as Hinata wife, Paperman wife, Leg Shadow, Next Door Village Flower, Yuhi Hong, all of whom can become very good wives in the future. Finally, may the world be peaceful. If there is no peace, how can you lie down and win comfortably? Marry a few wives, live a life without shame and impetuosity every day, and write a diary to become stronger. Isn't it delicious? If you don't make peace, then don't blame me for taking the initiative to make peace. With a flash in his eyes, Zhao Yuchen retracted his smile and took off his eyes, then turned and walked towards the bed. But many people can't sleep because of his diary. As expected of a time traveler, you actually know me. It's just Mrs. Shi Yan. You, a time traveler, have so many wives. Azuki Shion, who had just changed shifts and was about to take a bath, took off her clothes for a moment. Her eyes were inexplicable. As an Anbu Jonin directly under Hokage, he is naturally good at intelligence analysis and summary. She didn't notice the appearance of the copy of the diary, and when she had the idea of revealing the information in the diary, she had the supreme power to obliterate her, which shows that strong Yamato is special. From the limited observations she has now, she knows that some people in high positions do not have diaries, such as Sarutobi Hiruzen and Danzo, as well as the heads of major families. Otherwise, after seeing the news in it, they will definitely take action. From this it can be concluded that there is something about her who owns the diary. As for what this trait is, she is still unclear for the time being, but it is certain that it has nothing to do with status, and it has a special status in the Hokage Ninja anime. What is the reason? The current information is insufficient. This copy of the diary is specially marked with my name, indicating that it is not the only one, and there should be others who have obtained it. Knowing the identities of these people may be able to know the conditions for possessing a copy of the diary. When tomorrow starts, I will split a shadow clone to observe Zhao Yuchen. Azuki Shion quickly made a decision. At this moment, there was a knock on her door. Who is it? Cough, Shion, cough, it's me. Blast? Azuki Shion came to the door, opened a crack and asked, what's the matter? Ahem. Yuguang Galewind coughed continuously, and said with a smile, I didn't make an appointment to continue practicing swordsmanship tomorrow, so I came here to make sure. Azuki Shion was stunned, and then a little embarrassed. She and Moonlight Hayate are classmates, and because they both like swordsmanship, they become friends who talk about everything. But after she became Chunin and joined Anbu, the communication between the two began to decrease. Until not long ago, she was assigned by Hokage to investigate the experienced Chunin. During this period, Moonlight Gale performed outstandingly, showing a self-created swordsmanship of the 3-day moon dance, and finally became a special Jonin. She was happy to see Lai Shin, so she re-established contact with Moonlight Gale and discussed swordsmanship. Moonlight Gale is also very generous, not only telling her the swordsmanship experience he has learned for free, but also preparing to teach her unique swordsmanship, which makes her very fond of it. But now, she looked at the copy of Zhao Yuchen's diary that only she could see in her hand. This traverser makes me even more curious. After all, he dares to call me wife. Azuki Shion is a woman with a very strong personality. If she wants to find a partner, she must either be completely conquered by a man she admires, or find an obedient and honest man who will devote herself wholeheartedly to her. Moonlight Gale, who was originally like-minded, gave her heart and soul, which moved her a little. But after seeing the contents of Zhao Yuchen's diary, she became interested in this time traveler. Dare to write like that in the diary, it must not be a random thought, but a real plan. She really wanted to know what Zhao Yuchen was going to do. Sorry, Hayate. Maoyue Shion is a decisive and straightforward person. After making a decision in her heart, she immediately cuts through the mess with a sharp knife. In the next period of time, I will need to complete the secret mission assigned by Master Hokage, so let's forget about learning swordsmanship. Cough, it's okay, cough. Moonlight Gale was stunned for a moment, and then said, I can wait, cough cough, I will teach you when you have time. Don't worry about it. Azuki Shion said seriously. After all, this is a secret technique created by you. We are just ordinary classmates. I shouldn't learn it. Moonlight Gale stopped breathing. He almost blurted out that we can be different from ordinary classmates. But he forcibly held back, because he knew Maoyue Shion's character. I can treat her well to gain her favor, but I must not use this as a prerequisite, otherwise I will definitely be rejected as a transaction. You have to stick to the line of moving, so that you have a chance. There is no way, he is in poor health, especially Jonin is at his limit, it is impossible to defeat Azuki Shion head-on in this life. Cough, Shi Yan, you are right to say that. Cough cough, if I teach you the dance of the crescent moon, cough, you will definitely feel burdened. Moonlight Gale showed a warm male smile, and coughed lightly. Then when you are free, let's study together the Mu Yi Bai Ya knife technique experience I got by chance, help each other, verify each other, and improve each other. Well, I hope you don't refuse. After speaking, he turned around to do it. Etc. Azuki Shion's voice came. A smile flashed across Moonlight Gale's mouth. Cough. What's the matter? Shion. Moonlight Gale said warmly. Do you have senior White Fang sword technique experience in your hand? Azuki Shion's eyes became a little hotter. Wood Yi Baya, whose real name is Hitaki Sakumo, once terrified the ninja world. Before 4th Hokage Namikaze Minato, he was the first ninja village to make the rule of, you can give up the mission when you meet the other party. It should be noted that missions are more important than life for ninjas. But Hitaki Sakumo can make the shadows of the major ninja villages order to take the initiative to avoid, and not to make unnecessary sacrifices, which shows how strong his strength is. Azuki Shion is 3 years younger than Kakashi. When Mu Yi Baya reached the peak of his prestige when he entered school, he admired him very much, and because of this, he fell in love with sword skills. As for her current grandmaster swordsmanship, it was because Mu Yi Baya violated the rules and gave up the mission to save her companions, which caused huge losses to the village and suffered all people responsibilities, and she was also affected. After all, even Hitaki Kakashi, Hitaki Sakumo's own son, felt for a while that his father was at fault. But as she got older and saw and heard more, she began to have her own thinking. What Hitaki Sakumo did at the time was not right. After all, ninjas always regard the completion of tasks as the first criterion, let alone the damage to the collective interests of the village because of his failure to complete the tasks. But you can never say you did something wrong. Otherwise, wouldn't the will of fire become a joke? Regardless of this matter, she still admires Hitaki Sakumo's strength. If you can study White Fang's sword technique and learn by analogy, you may be able to improve your swordsmanship. Cough, yes. Azuki Shion's reaction was not as expected by Moonlight Gale. There was a burst of pride in his heart, and he no longer felt so painful. In order to get Mu Yi Baya's knowledge of knife skills, he not only invited Hitaki Kakashi to drink and bought it at a large price, but also set up a treasured color painting, Intimate Heaven. But if he could catch up with Maoyue Shion and bid farewell to his left and right hands, it would be worth it. It's just Kakashi's handwritten version. Moonlight Hayate added. He knows Maoyue Shi Yanhui is a quality blue heart, sees the details, and is good at analyzing information. The less clever you are, the more honest you are, the better. It doesn't matter who wrote it, as long as the content is right. As expected, Maoyue Shion didn't think much about it, and said in a deep voice, then when I'm free, I'll make an appointment with you to study Senior White Fang's advice. Cough. Everything is up to you. Moonlight Gale nodded. The two chatted casually for a few more words, and then separated. Azuki Shion went back to the bathroom, took off her clothes, submerged her body in the bathtub with only her head exposed. Looking down at the reflection in the water, she rarely became narcissistic. I don't know who will be cheaper in the future. Meanwhile, the land of rain. This place is shrouded in rainy weather all year round, and is in the central tower known as the Kingdom of Weeping. The whole body was wrapped in a black robe, and the woman with fluttering blue hair couldn't help but feel a little absent-minded. Paperman wife, are you talking about me? The strong self-consciousness made her suspect that the paper figure mentioned in Zhao Yuchen's diary was her. After all, in this huge ninja world, he is the only one who knows the paper escape technique. Conan, are you worried about our plans? A voice came from behind. The indiscriminate woman didn't turn around, but raised her head slightly and said, I'm wondering whether our world is real or not. You never thought about it before. Because I used to firmly believe that this is a real world. Then why is there any doubt now? Because Conan wants to reveal the contents of the diary cryptically. But the feeling of heart palpitations came again, only less than when she first planned to ask Nagato directly if she could see the diary. She immediately changed her words. Because of Uchiha Madara, I don't believe he can live to this day. It doesn't matter. A confident voice came. Before God, all schemes and tricks are useless. If it was before, Conan would believe it without hesitation. But now, looking at the copy of the diary, she felt a little restless. This is the power of the gods, right? Meanwhile, the Hyuga mansion. Teacher Yuchen. Why is Teacher Yuchen like this? How am I going to face him in the future? Hinata covered herself in the blanket, and a puff of mist came out. It's so embarrassing to be confessed all the time, and to be said to be a good wife in the future. In fact, she can also choose not to read the diary, so she doesn't have to think so much. But this diary seemed to have some kind of magical power, and she couldn't help it. Well, thinking of something, Hinata seemed to fall asleep. Nothing to say all night. Early the next morning, after Zhao Yuchen woke up, he immediately received the reward for meeting the diary requirements yesterday. Hey, since it's this ninjutsu, character explodes. Write a diary with more than 1,000 words in one day, and you can receive rewards at midnight the next day. But Zhao Yuchen is a calm person. He didn't stay up late and wait for rewards. Instead, he slept until he woke up naturally, and then opened the diary. Rewards on the first day of the diary. A chakra card, Shuriken Shadow Clone Technique. One card chakra was expected by Zhao Yuchen, and his surprise was the Shuriken Shadow Clone Technique. This ninjutsu is a derivative A-level ninjutsu created by the old monkey Sarutobi Hiruzen on the basis of the Shadow Clone Technique. It is used by throwing a huge shuriken forward, and controlling the shuriken shadow clone out of tens of thousands of hands. The sword conducts continuous attacks, a proper range attack. If there are enough chakras, more shuriken shadow clones can be turned into. This is a powerful ninjutsu, and the prerequisite for mastering this ninjutsu is the B-level ninjutsu shadow clone technique. It's like Naruto will be able to shadow clone technique immediately after mastering the multiple shadow clone of A-level ninjutsu. So now he knows not only shuriken shadow clone technique, but also shadow clone technique. Even after a period of proficiency, it can evolve into multiple shadow clone techniques. This is not winning a ninjutsu, but winning a big gift bag. Even wait for a few more cards of chakra in the future, he can play crowd tactics like Naruto, and let shadow clone learn and develop ninjutsu to benefit himself. This is simply a must-have weapon for salted fish. Comfortable. After writing down this great event in his diary, he hummed a little tune and left the house. Ha 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 ha. Seeing the familiar opening words, all the girls who opened the diary early, no matter what their usual personalities were, all rolled their eyes at this moment. But inexplicably, I feel much better. They continued to read to see what the traverser was happy about. Another card of chakra, and also comprehend the Shuriken Shadow Clone technique. I became stronger, but not bald. Not counting Kamui, I can already break arms with Wu Wu, let him reminisce about Master's love. It's a pity that the longest teleportation distance has increased from 5,000 meters to 8,000 meters. It's not the 10,000 meters I guessed, and it's just as big as Konoha. You still need to be cautious, hey. Women. Chakra and the others know, but what kind of unit is this card? This diary is really amazing. It actually made Zhao Yuchen comprehend an A-level ninjutsu all at once. The level of ninjutsu does not clearly indicate the power of ninjutsu, but it can indicate the difficulty of learning. Also, whose code name is this 50-50 split? What is Kamui, and what does it mean to reminisce about Master's love? Are all the traversers talking so strangely? Also, are you serious about the last of Versailles? The girls slandered in their hearts and prepared to close the diary. In their thinking, since Zhao Yuchen is the ninja school teacher, he should not write a diary during work. Even if there is something to write, you can watch it together at night. But as soon as they moved, they found that the diary had been updated. My xiaolongbao, glutinous rice, pancake fruit, sauce cake. Garbage day. There are not many good things to eat, and there is no breakfast. By the way, lunch seems to be prepared in advance. What a ghost. Fortunately, in order to establish a character in the variety show, the cooking skills are not bad, and I can cook by myself, but today it is too late. I'm so miserable. Zhao Yuchen's good mood because of getting the reward disappeared. Just because he walked around the village, he didn't find a single breakfast shop. It wasn't until this time that he suddenly realized that Konoha village is the cultural background of small days. In the eyes of others, breakfast is the same as dinner, and the ingredients are similar. There is no need to go out to eat, and the housewife usually prepares the food for the day. You must go out to eat. That is, go to the restaurant to buy staple food, 1 dish and 3 soups, and occasionally you can have breakfast cooked by the store, but they are all sushi, salmon, and desserts that Zhao Yuchen is not used to. I want Kyushu cuisine to dominate the ninja world. With deep resentment, Zhao Yuchen found a shop to buy bread and fresh milk. As a bachelor, he wanted to eat early in the morning without eating. Peeved, as if they could imagine Zhao Yuchen's loveless appearance, all the girls couldn't help but smile. Although they had never heard of terms such as sauce pancakes and pancakes, they knew it must be some kind of food. In a rough understanding, the land of fire is the most productive in the ninja world, while the land of wind is the most barren. If the residents of Konoha move to San Shinobi Village, they will enter the food desert. For those who love to eat, this is really miserable. To their surprise, Zhao Yuchen can actually cook, which is a treasure among men. As for variety shows, character design, and words such as small days, they don't understand and don't care too much. If you look down on Konoha's breakfast so much, I'd like to taste the good things in your mouth if I have the chance. A woman swallowed the balls in one gulp. Teacher Yuchen didn't prepare a bento. Should I take this opportunity to deepen our relationship with him, so that I can make side-splitting good men in the ninja world in the future? Ino's eyes lit up. Mr. Yuchen, is he going to be hungry at noon? A light flashed in Hinata's white eyes, thinking about whether to get an extra bento in the family. Last night, my brain got hot, and I ate a lot of ramen with Mr. Yuchen's money. Rinli Aunt, can I have an extra bento? After thinking for a long time, Hinata found Aunt who was in charge of cooking for the clan. Huh? Hyuga was stunned. Miss, isn't one serving enough? Hinata's bento has always been larger than that of other members of the same age in the family. Will there be enough to eat? Hinata blushed slightly. Although she wanted to get a bento for Zhao Yuchen. But she doesn't usually have enough to eat. I give it away, Hinata whispered. Yes, miss. Hyuga also asked instinctively, and didn't care about Hinata's reason for wanting more lunch. She dared not disobey the order of Miss Zong's family. Thank you, Rinli Aunt. Taking the bento, Hinata turned around and left with a blushing face. But within a few steps, she paused. Just because the contents of the open diary are updated. No, gentlemen, stay away from the kitchen. I'd better marry a good wife and teach her all my culinary skills so that I can sit back and enjoy the benefits. The lover of the Gallic chicken, the chef of Kyushu, the wife of a small life, the highest ideal of a man. There are many good women in the ninja world, suitable for taking home as wives. Let me think about it, who is more suitable? All the women were breathless. Even though they are ninjas, the education and living environment they have received since they were young still make them think that the best destination for girls is marriage and becoming a qualified full-time wife. Zhao Yuchen is a traveler from another world who knows everything about the ninja world. To get his approval, wouldn't it be the approval from another world? This made them particularly concerned. Hinata is suitable, but too young. Ino is suitable, but also too young. Tianshan is not only suitable but also a little rich woman, but she is not too young, and Shanglin is too young, and she is still suffering in Kauran village, so she has to find someone time to grab people. As soon as this remark came out, the girls who were named suddenly lost their composure. Can I be a good wife? Holding a bento box, Hinata was a little dizzy, but her heart was warm. Because Zhao Yuchen's words showed that he not only liked her, but also recognized her. It is the greatest affirmation for a woman to choose a suitable wife from the entire ninja world. Growing up so big, it is the first time she has received absolute heartfelt approval from others, and it is still the most important point of a woman. Don't get dizzy. Hinata cheered herself up with her eyes fixed. I absolutely cannot live up to this recognition. Yoho, Teacher Yuchen actually still has thoughts about me, and even thinks I'm the best candidate for a wife. Ino clapped his small hands, instantly firming up the immature thoughts in his heart. She is going to cook for Zhao Yuchen and observe this interesting time traveler up close. It must be interesting to have visitors from otherworld. She found her mother and hurriedly said, Master, teach me how to cook. Mrs. Yamanaka. You. Cooking. Yes, starting today, I want to learn how to cook well. Who are you going to serve, Uchiha Sasuke? TCH, mother, you underestimate me. I have already left the vulgar taste of competing with little Sakura. Although Sasuke is handsome, he is just an immature boy. So, which old man have you taken a fancy to? My lord. Ha ha ha, let me guess, is it Teacher Yuchen? Surprised. Mother, How do you know? Do you use mind-reading skills on me? Ino, my mother is someone who has experienced it. Teacher Yu Chen is so handsome, young, gentle, and has a relationship with the teacher. Which girl can refuse? Mrs. Yamanaka showed a little woman's expression. Yamanaka Ino. The melon-eating Yamanaka Hai. Ah, there's still me. Outside Konoha village, a girl wearing a pink Kyushu traditional cheongsam and a small skirt top, with a Kyushu traditional bun, threw a scroll at random. The scroll opened, and thousands of kunai flew out, taking away a dozen blood-stained bandits not far away. But the girl's attention was on the diary in the other hand. She is Tianshan. Interesting time traveler teacher. Tien showed a big white fang, squinted his eyes and said with a hearty smile, "You can't reveal the existence of the diary to others, so you must not talk about what you see in it. If there is any doubt and curiosity, I can only investigate it myself." Some expectations. At the same time, inside a residential house in Sao Ninja Village. The eyes of the red-haired girl shone slightly. "You actually mentioned me. To be able to make such an assertion, is it because I have seen my future wife and mother? So, I can marry well in the future." A ray of light appeared in the girl's desperate and dark heart. The person who gave her this light was named Zhao Yu Chen. At this time, a warm hand was placed on her head, accompanied by a weak but still gentle and loving voice. "Shang Lin, don't be afraid. They promised their mother that as long as mother helps them wholeheartedly, they will not shoot you. If you work hard to become stronger, you will surely find happiness in the future." Shanglin raised her head suddenly, her eyes were brighter than ever before. "Mom, I believe in you." The red-haired woman with withered and dull hair was taken aback for a moment. "My daughter has always been very negative. What happened this time?" "Mom, take a good rest. Shanglin will cook for you." With a sweet smile, Shanglin stood up from the bed and trotted to the kitchen. But she didn't rush to start cooking, but put the diary on the ground, then knelt down respectfully and prayed. "Master Zhao Yu Chen, the time traveler, you actually know me, and you must also know my past and future. Shanglin implores you to save Shanglin and mother. Shang Lin swears that he will spend his whole life, no, he will repay your kindness every life. I will work hard to learn cooking and try to be a good wife." After swearing, Shanglin got up and started cooking seriously. Zhao Yu Chen didn't know about all this. With bread hanging from his mouth and a bottle of fresh milk in his hand, he was still writing fast in his mind. "We still have to consider women of the right age." This statement made many older women look forward to it. In the previous series, they thought that the future would be dominated by young girls. Mitarashi Anko. He must be good at eating, and he will become obese in the future, but he will definitely not be a cook with peace of mind, and he does not have this talent. Woo woo woo. Anko stared at the contents of the 8 trigrams diary while eating the meatballs. Because he swallowed too quickly, he choked on the meatballs, his whole face flushed red, and even started to turn blue. She finally swallowed the ball, and her eyes started to burn. She, Mitarashi Anko, survived the snake raising, and Orochimaru survived the treason and liquidation case, and almost died under the most beloved meatball. The culprit of all this is actually Zhao Yu Chen. Will I become a fat woman in the future? Impossible, absolutely impossible. With a roar in his heart, Mitarashi Anko put on his jacket and rushed towards the ninja school. She wanted to ask, how could she become a fat woman? The evening face of Azuki. She is very good looking. GNG is definitely suitable to be a bodyguard, but her culinary talent is not sure. Ha. Azuki Shion smiled. This evaluation is much better than that of my classmate Mitarashi Anko. But this guy is so unreliable in the diary, can he be a good teacher? I'll investigate for Lord Hokage. After the words fell, Mao Yu Shion disappeared in a flash. Shizune. The secretary and the doctor are doing a good job. The culinary talent is not sure, but it is probably good to be around Tsunade for so long, to be determined. Tsunade? Hee, I'm dreaming, otherwise I can burn incense if I do it. Peeved. In a restaurant, Shizune couldn't help laughing while reading his diary. But feeling the sharp gaze, she immediately restrained herself, and said with righteous indignation, Master Tsunade, this genin dares to arrange you. Shall we go back to the village and teach him a lesson? There was a look of anticipation in Shizune's eyes. She really wanted to see the traveler himself, but even more wanted to see her hometown that she hadn't returned to after more than 10 years. Back to the village? Tsunade didn't directly respond to the big veto as usual, and his eyes became dazed. But when Shizune thought there was a chance, she slapped the table. No, Tsunade, Even if I am beaten to death, I will never return to Konoha. What time traveler just happened to cause trouble for that stinky old monkey? HMPH, let's go, Shizune. Tsunade slapped the table and got up, put on a coat with the word gambling in capital letters, turned and walked out the door. Shizune first went to the boss to pay the bill, and then quickly followed with his pet pig. Master Tsunade, where are you going now? Of course it's a casino, Shizune. I shouldn't have asked this question redundantly. If you have this time, why don't you see what else Zhao Yuxi wrote? Red sunset. Charming temperament, charming eyes, master of illusion, double enjoyment, gentle personality, is simply the best option now, and will be Hinata's teacher in the future, and I probably haven't been with Sarutobi Asuma, the short-lived 3,500 tails, is a good target. Yuhihong, who was on the way to the Pommel Horse Clan, stopped and opened her mouth slightly. She was working hard to eat melons, but she didn't expect to be mentioned by Zhao Yuchen and gave her a compliment. Surprised and slightly embarrassed, but more happy. But when she saw the content about predicting the future, her heart sank. Sarutobi Hiruzen did hint recently that she could be an instructor, but she is still hesitant considering the physical condition of her apprentice Kurama Yakumo. However, according to the information revealed by Zhao Yuchen, she finally agreed to this matter. In the future, the team she will lead will also include Hinata, the eldest lady of the Hyuga family. But it was the last sentence that caught her attention even more. Having not been with Sarutobi Asuma means that I will be with him in the future? How can it be? Yuhihong doubts Zhao Yuchen's identity as a traverser and his omniscience. Sarutobi Asuma is the son of third Hokage. He was spoiled since he was a child. He acted recklessly, with high-mindedness and low-handedness. He is exactly the same as Sarutobi Konohamaru, the grandson of third Hokage. He has always disliked girls. After graduating and becoming a ninja, Sarutobi Asuma became more and more rebellious in his youth. He acted completely according to his personal likes and dislikes. He even quarreled with Sarutobi Hiruzen and left Konoha to wander around. If this kind of thing happened to others, he would have been judged as treason long ago and was hunted down by Anbu. But because Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't pursue it, no one troubled this prince. In the past 2 years, I heard that Sarutobi Asuma has become the guardian ninja of the Fire Country Daimyo, and has made a lot of achievements. It seems that the prodigal son has turned back. But in her heart, Sarutobi Asuma is still the rude Konoha second generation who looks ordinary and behaves recklessly. In the end, she would be chased by this kind of person? Was she blind, or was she under an illusion? No, it must be Zhao Yuxi talking nonsense. Yuhihong continued to read the following content. It's a pity that the difficulty is not small. The old monkey arranged for Sarutobi Asuma to be gilded in front of the daimyo, and after he returned to the village, he arranged for him to be the teacher of Narashikamaru, Ino and Akamichi Choji. All fools understand what's going on. Yuhihong is a jonin, but the Grandmaster is an illusion. It is actually a bit far-fetched to be the teacher of the son of the patriarch of the 3 big families, Hinata, Inuzuka Kiba, and Aburame Shino. But if Kuroyuki and Sarutobi Asuma get together and become the daughter-in-law of third Hokage, the situation will be different if the 2 teams are arranged to carry out the slightly more dangerous tasks together. Take down the heirs of the 6 Konoha families in one go. The old monkey played a good move. If I have any thoughts about Yuhihong, I am completely against the old monkey. It's not conducive to keeping a low profile, and it also goes against my will of fire. Seeing this, the woman who was reading the diary showed a look of surprise. To become the guardian ninja of the Ming dynasty is to accumulate the prestige contacts of the high-level and noble circles of the Fire Nation. Nara, Yamanaka, and Akamichi have a high status in Konoha, and they are called Ino Shikacho in the ninja world. Hyuga Hinata's Hyuga, Inuzuka's Inuzuka, and Aburame Shino's Aburame. Needless to say, all have ninja secrets and exclusive management industries. If Sarutobi Asuma and Yuhihong become the teachers of the heirs of the patriarchs of these 6 families, and the 2 finally get together, the former will have a lot of political assets. If there is third Hokage personally recommended. Can make one thing happen. 5th Hokage. Disgusting and dirty. The old guy is getting more and more depraved. Tsunade spat out a few words in disgust, but then restrained himself and continued walking towards the casino. Shizune quickly caught up, and asked softly, Master Tsunade, that's Asuma, what are you going back to the village to do? The impression of the 2 of them on Sarutobi Asuma is still more than 10 years ago, and it is definitely not a good impression. Even if it has been improved, its strength is still flawed. If Sarutobi Asuma becomes a 5th generation item, I always feel that Konoha will suffer. Excess. While casting the transformation technique to turn into a young girl, Tsunade said, "Did you forget that Zhao Yuchen said that he would devote himself to the 5th Hokage?" Shizune was taken aback for a moment, then suddenly realized. It can be seen that Zhao Yuchen doesn't like Sarutobi Hiruzen, nor Sarutobi Asuma, and even wants to poach a corner to grab Yuhihong, so naturally he doesn't want to work for the other party. Although I don't know which link went wrong, it is certain that Sarutobi Hiruzen's wish did not come true. That's good. Sarutobi Asuma. Konan, Azabui and other women from forces other than Konoha whispered this name softly, thinking about how to pass the news to the people or partners above them. What Tsunade thought, they thought too. But now that he knows that Sarutobi Hiruzen wants to pave the way for his son to become 5th Hokage, of course he has to make use of it and make some fuss. Boring. Ino frowned and didn't think much of it. With her emotional intelligence, she can figure out what's going on and doesn't plan to do anything. His father's decision, maybe even Lu Ju's uncle's decision, is naturally more comprehensive. Aha. Tien Tien threw out a few kunai with detonating charms tied on them, narrowing his eyes slightly. She thought of her teachers and teammates, and suddenly she could understand Hyuga Neji's fate theory. The bloody parentage and hierarchy. Fortunately, this girl has the ability to make money. Snapped. Kurenai Yuhi took a step back in a daze. No matter what thoughts and reactions the other women had after seeing the contents of the diary, she, as the person involved, was hit hard. Ask yourself, without knowing these calculations, if she is really assigned to be a disciple of the 3 heirs of the ninja clan, Hyuga Hinata, Inazuka Kiba, and Aburame Shino, she will definitely appreciate Sarutobi Hiruzen's attention. At this time, if Sarutobi Asuma came to pursue her, she would not refuse directly even if she had a bad impression of Sarutobi Hiruzen for the sake of Sarutobi Hiruzen. If Sarutobi Asuma really has turned back as a prodigal son and has become a lot more mature, he may not be impressed. Assuming, no, that Sarutobi Hiruzen would definitely take advantage of his position and give her and the team led by Sarutobi Asuma the same mission. Get along day and night, if you add some plots such as, heroes save the beauty. I am an old woman, who is almost 30 years old, maybe I will be really moved. Logically, everything makes sense. Myself, it turned out to be just a card that Sarutobi Hiruzen helped Sarutobi Asuma become Hokage. Is this politics? The Nine Tails Rebellion, and the Will of Fire, entrusted to her by her father Makoto Yuhi before her sacrifice, were all shaken. I absolutely don't want this future, but what should I do? Yuhi Hong's face was pale, and she clenched the diary tightly with both hands. At this time, she found that there was an update on it, and a hint of ridicule instinctively appeared on the corner of her mouth. What kind of traverser, facing the 3rd Hokage, is helpless and chooses to give in? So. Go to Nima's low profile. As the saying goes, if you wear clean clothes, you will not rebel, and the chrysanthemum is covered with an electric drill. Traveling to this Hokage, if you can give these cuties a home, isn't it a waste of time? If you offend, you will offend. Anyway, this old monkey won't live long. Yuhi Hong, I'm sure. I can't stop the Sage of 6 Paths coming. Pooh. Yuhi Hong spat. Open mouth, dang toozy. I don't want the home you Poseidon scumbag gave me. With Sarutobi Asuma, at least the other party will treat himself wholeheartedly. Well, no, Sarutobi Asuma is a short-lived ghost, and she doesn't accept it either. I'd like to see how you play, bah, you're chasing me. Glancing at her mouth, Yuhi Hong found that her mood suddenly improved a lot. The boat will be straight when it reaches the bridge. If it doesn't work, I want to be the teacher to lead the team. Let us see if the old monkey will help his son chase him and become his daughter-in-law. Thinking of this, Yuhi Hong walked into the mansion in front of her. At the same time, inside the ninja school, Mr. Yuchen, good morning. Good morning, Teacher Yuchen. Mr. Yuchen, good morning. On the way, female students kept saying hello to Zhao Yuchen, while the male students showed expressions of chasing lemons. Tisk. It's all because of my plain looks. With a gentle smile on Zhao Yuchen's face, he felt a little smug in his heart. But the next moment, the eyes of the female students who greeted him lit up, and they all gathered in one direction. Morning Sasuke. Sasuke-kun, did you sleep well last night? Have you had breakfast, Mr. Sasuke? Here is the sushi I made myself. Sasuke-kun, did you dream of being me last night? Yeah. What are you talking about? TCH, I don't believe you don't want to. For all this, Uchiha Sasuke did not respond at all, and walked into the teaching building with a cold face. Zhao Yuchen. Are girls this realistic? But he didn't really care. In terms of appearance and temperament alone, Urzuzi is a bit worse than him. But before yesterday, as a ninja school teacher, he might not be as powerful as Urzuzi. In addition, the second pillar is an aristocrat with a surname, but he is just a commoner. The teacher-student relationship is also a barrier. So little girls are more obsessed with Urzuzi, which is normal. Ha ha ha, Teacher Yuchen, you are so rude. Suddenly, Naruto's voice sounded behind Zhao Yuchen. He curled his lips cryptically, folded his hands on his chest, turned around and said, Naruto, is the review written? Naruto suddenly showed a bitter face, his eyes looked left and right. Mr. Yuchen, let me tell you, this matter is not up to you, right? The head teacher of his class is Amino Iruka. Usually when he does something wrong, it is Iruka who comes to educate him and punish him to write a self-criticism. Understood. Zhao Yuchen nodded slightly, beckoning in a certain direction. Teacher Iruka, come here. Naruto froze. Teacher Yuchen, what's the matter? Iruka, who had just entered the school gate, frowned suspiciously and walked up to Zhao Yuchen. Seeing Naruto with the expression of doing something wrong, he instinctively put on a straight face. Naruto, are you playing a prank again? I. Naruto hesitated to speak. He did play a prank yesterday, but he wasn't caught red-handed. Generally speaking, Iruka will not settle accounts after the fall. I didn't expect to be caught by Zhao Yuchen today. Teacher Iruka, don't be angry. Zhao Yuchen said, last night, Lord Hokage entrusted me to teach Naruto. I will be his guardian from now on. As soon as this remark came out, Iruka and Naruto stared at each other. Specially responsible? Teach, Naruto, me. Guardian? That's right. Zhao Yuchen nodded, and said solemnly, as a class teacher, you usually have a lot of work, and it will be even more tiring to manage Naruto. Master Hokage sympathizes with you, so let me be responsible for teaching this child. I will be Naruto's guardian from now on. Once you become a guardian, will it be far from having Naruto call you dad? Naruto calls him dad, and he is also Kushina's husband rounded up. It's a pity that Kushina is dead, otherwise I would have heard her scream twice. Thinking of this, Zhao Yuchen couldn't help but make a note. I am a young guy who acts as Naruto's guardian. If Kushina knew, she would be moved to tears. Kushina. Guardian? In the sealed space, Kushina showed a confused expression. This traveler does not seem to be old. Why should he be the guardian of his own son? And it seems to have something to do with her a dead person. It's really weird. Kushina murmured, is there any benefit in being Naruto's guardian? If Zhao Yuchen knew what she was thinking, he would definitely give her an affirmative answer. Deliberately exaggerating Sarutobi Hiruzen's entrustment, becoming Naruto's guardian naturally has great benefits. It can be said that this is an outrageous investment with a high rate of return. The first is Naruto's character. Under the continuous influence of Ashura Chakra, he has not been blackened by Konoha village's sparring. The guardian is just a name, and there is no need to spend time teaching it. And what is the future of Naruto? Child of Destiny, the savior of the ninja world, 7th Hokage, the reincarnation of the son of Sage of Six Paths, a Six Paths level existence that can contend against the alien Otsutsuki. If there is such a friend, or even subordinates, they will be able to lie down and win every day in the future. At this time, if you want to get Naruto's friendship, you don't need to really pay like your parents, mothers and nanny, you just need a simple approval. If he is afraid of the butterfly effect, he can teach Rasengan, multiple shadow clone training methods, and add at most one Sage mode to ensure that Naruto's final achievement is a quasi-Six Paths level. And these are all so simple that it doesn't take much effort at all. It really takes effort, it may be to brainwash Naruto on a daily basis, so that he will not be too holy. Teacher Yuchen, are you kidding me? Iruka still didn't believe it. Naruto was hated by the whole village since he was a child, although as he grows up it is no longer so superficial, but the prejudice still exists, and if Zhao Yuchen becomes Naruto's guardian, he is likely to be hostile along with him. Moreover, although Zhao Yuchen is a teacher, he is only an 18-year-old young man in essence. Being a guardian may affect his marriage. In addition, Iruka remembered that Zhao Yuchen was the same as himself, his parents died in the Nine Tails Rebellion. Although Naruto can't be blamed, it's hard not to get angry. How can I make a joke about this kind of thing? Zhao Yuchen pushed his nose and eyes, and said gently, inherit the will of fire, burn yourself for the village and for the next generation. Even if Naruto is, he is still a member of the village. I wish him well. Zhao Yuchen's words made Iruka stand in awe. Asking himself, he still can't let go of his prejudice against Jinchuriki. Every village has the tailed beast Jinchuriki as a weapon of war. Therefore, the incarnation of the demon fox is just a way of tricking children. Anyone with a little common sense knows that Naruto is not the incarnation of the Nine Tails demon fox, but Nine Tails Jinchuriki. But they, who were hurt by Nine Tails, still blamed Naruto and hoped that he and Nine Tails would die. Moreover, the ways that the major hidden villages treat Jinchuriki are by default as weapons. Cloud Shinobi also didn't change until after World War E. I have to confirm this with Master Hokage, Iruka said seriously. The guardian of the Jinchuriki is not a person who wants to be a guardian. Teacher Iruka can ask now, how about I lead the class in the morning? Zhao Yuchen didn't panic at all, even if he was lying. Iruka believed a little more, but he had to be cautious about some things, nodded and said, yes, I will ask Mr. Yuchen to lead the class in the morning. Zhao Yuchen nodded. At this time, Naruto's disgusting voice came from beside him. TCH, old man third generation is so boring. I'm almost becoming a ninja. Why don't you arrange some kind of guardian for me? Master Naruto doesn't need it at all. Hearing this, Zhao Yuchen and Iruka rolled their eyes together in their hearts. The mouth is harder than the mouth of a boiled duck, but your eye sockets should not be wet. Apparently, Naruto was moved enough to cry about having a guardian. What a poor and lovely child. Naruto, you are thinking too much. Iruka said habitually. The graduation exam topic after 7 days has been determined, and it is clone technique in 3-body technique. What? Naruto suddenly showed a desperate expression. The 3-body technique are transformation technique, body replacement technique and clone technique. Among them, transformation technique and body replacement technique, he has already played very skillfully. Only this clone technique, I don't know where the problem is. Although it can be successfully used, it just can't distinguish the normal clone. If the graduation exam was clone technique, he would definitely fail. Hey, Mr. Iruka, can't we change the questions for this graduation exam? The test questions set by Mr. Hokage himself, of course not. Damn third generation old man, I'll go find him and ask him to change the exam questions. Naruto. Do you want to taste my fist? Iruka rolled up his sleeves. Naruto froze for a moment, and said weakly, then, don't I want to repeat the grade? That's right. Iruka gloated. Naruto became more and more loveless. Seeing this scene, Zhao Yuchen couldn't help but write it down in his diary. Sure enough, the old monkey has a plan. Knowing that Naruto can't use clone technique well due to the influence of Nine Tails chakra, he deliberately set the exam question as clone technique just to make him fail. Take the opportunity to let Mizuki, a follower of Orochimaru, come forward to confuse Naruto to steal the sealing techniques. Let him learn the multiple shadow clone technique that is most suitable for the Jinchuriki of the Uzumaki clan, and then pardon him to create a good image of himself. 3 birds with 1 stone, smart, old monkey. In the sealed space, Kushina's red hair fluttered around. As a mother, it is impossible for her to be in a good mood when she sees her son being plotted against in various ways, let alone she is still Scarlet Pepper. If I can return to the present world, I must beat you to death, I must. Get it? But I will not let you get your wish. Zhao Yuchen reached out and wiped Naruto's head, and said with a smile, don't be afraid. I have a way for you to master the clone technique and pass the examination. Really? Naruto instantly revived with full blood, his eyes full of anticipation. Of course. Zhao Yuchen nodded, and then said, the premise is that you stop playing pranks, and write a review and give it to me. No problem. Uzumaki Naruto agreed without hesitation, turned around and ran towards the teaching building, and said without looking back, I'm going to write now. This guy. Iruka shook his head helplessly, and said to Zhao Yuchen, Teacher Yuchen, I'm really sorry for you. In his opinion, what Zhao Yuchen said was to lie to Naruto, just a stopgap measure. Zhao Yuchen could see what he was thinking, but didn't explain much. Iruka-sensei, go to Hokage-sama, I'm going to class now. Iruka nodded, cast body flicker technique and left. Zhao Yuchen pushed his glasses and prepared to leave. At this moment, he saw a petite figure walking in from the school gate, with a pair of pure white eyes. It was difficult for people not to notice. It's Hinata. He subconsciously stopped to appreciate it. Hinata has a very keen sense and senses that someone is looking at him. Following her gaze, she saw Zhao Yuchen, Teacher Yuchen? Looking at each other, Hinata couldn't help thinking of the contents of the diary. Think of Zhao Yuchen calling her wife. Well. With a hot head, Hinata's body swayed and fell down. Zhao Yuchen. Hinata, Hinata. Hearing someone calling her name all the time, Hinata woke up slowly. What caught my eye was a familiar ceiling, which I had seen many times. Hinata, you're awake. A somewhat familiar pretty face came into view, with vivid blue eyes, long blonde hair tied into a ponytail and bangs. Well, Ino. Hinata whispered the other person's name. She sat up straight, only to realize that she was in the classroom, sitting on her usual seat. The front table is still Akamichi Choji. Akamichi Choji's deskmate is still Nara Shikamaru, but her deskmate has changed from Inuzuka Tooth to Yamanaka Ino. What's wrong with me? Hinata asked in a daze. You passed out at the school gate. Yamanaka Ino rested his chin on one hand, turned his body and face sideways, and looked at Hinata with interest. I happened to appear and hugged you. Faint? School entrance? The memory began to come back, and Hinata thought of Zhao Yuchen's unabashed and appreciative eyes. Well, thinking of him calling her wife in her heart and diary, saying that she could become a qualified wife in the future, she felt her head getting hot again. But fortunately, the client was not there, so she could still hold back the shame. Looking at this scene, Ino found it more and more interesting, and blurted out. Hinata, do you have this too? Saying so, she summoned a copy of Zhao Yuchen's diary, exclusive to Yamanaka Ino, and placed it in front of Hinata. After doing this, she was taken aback for a moment. She tried, whether she revealed the existence of the diary to her parents or Shikamaru directly, whether it was concealed or directly, she would always be shrouded in palpitations. If she reveals it no matter what, she will definitely die. But when Hinata was in a coma just now, she asked Shikamaru at the front desk if she knew the class list after graduation, and that the three of them would be in the same team, and the teacher was Sarutobi Asuma, but there was no problem. Although Shikamaru was troublesome, he still said lazily, well, we are Ino Shika Cho. Ino Shika Cho has always maintained neutrality. Whoever becomes Hokage will support whoever is. It is also very easy to be wooed by Lord Third Hokage. Normal. The affirmative answer made her sure that what was written in Zhao Yuchen's diary was indeed true. And just reveal what you see in it, as long as it's not too much, it's fine. But directly revealing the existence of the diary is not acceptable. But now, she has no restrictions on what she can reveal to Hinata. Diary. Hinata showed a surprised expression, his eyes became flustered. However, after seeing the name in front of the exclusive two words, she realized that she hadn't lost the copy in her hand, and asked with a sigh of relief, Ino, do you have Ino sauce? Also. Ino instantly understood what was going on, nodded and said, well, it just appeared beside me so abruptly, so is Hinata-chan? It may be because of a shared secret that cannot be revealed. Ino's address for Hinata suddenly became intimate. Me too. Hinata nodded. Interesting, I don't know what the conditions are for getting the diary. Curiosity lit up in Yamanaka Ino's eyes. Her curiosity about mysterious things is very strong. Of course, this matter has something to do with the handsome guy. And Zhao Yuchen is undoubtedly a super handsome guy. Did that Ino-chan also read the content? Hinata played with her fingers and asked in a low voice, with panic in her eyes. Ino turned to look at her with a bad smile. Hinata wife? Well, with a bang, smoke rose from Hinata's head, and he almost fainted again. Obviously, Ino has read the diary and knows Zhao Yuchen's attempt towards her, as well as the title and recognition. It's really shameful. Ha ha ha, Ino chuckled, thinking it was very interesting. Why didn't she know Hinata was so cute and fun before? How silly to waste time on that wide forehead. It's just being liked, there's nothing to be shy about. Ino put his arms around Hinata and said with a smile, it's not that someone you like is exposed. Could it be that you also have thoughts about Teacher Yuchen, so? No. Hinata stood up from the seat like a spring, and said to Ino nervously, I have absolutely no idea about Teacher Yuchen. Quiet. The ultimate quiet. Hinata roared, but her voice remained silent. If it is placed in normal times, it is estimated that only a few nearby people can hear it. But it's not dead, it's already class time. Zhao Yuchen stood on the podium, just asked everyone to keep quiet, and was about to give a lecture. Then, all the students heard what Hinata said. Shua. Hinata, sitting in the last row, instantly became the focus of the audience. Zhao Yuchen also showed a surprised expression, with a strange look in his eyes. Why did Hinata suddenly become shy, and still treat him well? Hinata's face swelled like a tomato, her body shook, and she passed out again in Ino's arms. Oops, it's overdone. Ino stuck out his tongue in embarrassment. I had no experience for the first time, so I didn't grasp the scale. From now on, she will know where Hinata's bottom line is, and she won't mess around. Well, Mr. Yuchen, Hinata-chan is not feeling well, just rest for a while. Ino asked Hinata to lie down on the table so that she could sleep more comfortably. Student Ino, please be more concerned. If you have any questions, you can report to me at any time. Zhao Yuchen nodded slightly and said gently. Yes. Ino responded instantly. So troublesome. Seeing this scene, Shikamaru frowned subconsciously. Although he didn't think about it, his high IQ made him realize that something was wrong with Ino. Neither to quarrel with little Sakura, nor to commit nympho to Sasuke. Weird development, I just hope it doesn't affect him. Ino Shika Cho-o. Taking another look at Akamichi Choji, who was concentrating on potato chips, Shikamaru sighed. At this time, in the seat diagonally behind Sasuke, Haruno Sakura looked at the intimate appearance of Ino and Hinata, always feeling a little uncomfortable. Although she and Ino have changed from girlfriends to rivals and enemies, they still care about each other very much. Now Ino seems to be friends with Hinata, making her feel betrayed. As a result, she was not even in the mood to pay attention to Sasuke as usual, but kept looking behind him secretly. And after Hinata woke up again, she was dragged by Ino to whisper something. The eyes of both women were obviously excited. This made Haruno Sakura feel an itch in his heart. I'm so curious. Meanwhile, in Hokage's office on the other side, Sarutobi Hiruzen took off the pipe, showing a bewildered expression on his old face hidden behind the smoke. Iruka, what did you just say? Master Hokage, Teacher Yu Shi said that he accepted your entrustment and volunteered to become the guardian of Uzumaki Naruto, responsible for teaching. Is this true? Iruka thought that Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't hear clearly, so he repeated his question. This is not a question, it is simply a confirmation of the subordinate's order from the superior, just in case. Sarutobi Hiruzen became more and more confused. He did make Zhao Yuchen be nicer to Naruto in order to make Naruto have more bonds with the village. But when did Zhao Yuchen become Naruto's guardian? Just kidding. Tailed Beast Ninja Guardian, of course the default is his Hokage of the village chief. But the doubts are all doubts. Sarutobi Hiruzen did not directly deny it, but asked calmly. Why did Yuchen tell you about this? Master Hokage, what happened? Iruka immediately told what happened in front of the teaching building not long ago, and at the end he did not forget to sigh. Mr. Yuchen's comprehension of the will of fire moved me. I still have some prejudices against Naruto and I can't get over it. Teacher Yuchen has the same experience as me, but he is willing to risk being hostile to become a guardian. I am also a ninja school teacher, I am ashamed. Iruka's words clearly came from the heart. After Sarutobi Hiruzen listened, he subconsciously took a deep breath of the cigarette, and his brain turned quickly. Judging from the existing information, Zhao Yuchen obviously overinterpreted what he ordered last night, which shows his loyalty to himself. So is it feasible for Zhao Yuchen to be Naruto's guardian? His strength is nothing in Genin, and it would be difficult to become a Chunin in the future. I am afraid that he will be in the ninja school for the rest of his life, and he will not be able to escape his control at all. With this level of strength, Jinchuriki can't be used to do anything. Even after Uzumaki Naruto becomes Kakashi's disciple according to his plan, daily contact will still be very limited, and it will not have any impact on Jinchuriki. He faithfully believes in himself, and has been spreading the will of fire of the third Hokage version, and getting along with Jinchuriki can deepen his own image. The guardian relationship allows him to better become the fetter of Jinchuriki, and it is in his own hands, helping him to better control Jinchuriki. It can be said that Zhao Yuchen becoming the guardian of Uzumaki Naruto did him no harm at all. So this matter, doable. Thinking about this, Sarutobi Hiruzen smiled kindly, and said, Iruka, you can be so conscientious and implement the will of fire well, I am very pleased. Don't worry, it is indeed the old man who made Yuchen Naruto's guardian. Hearing this, Iruka immediately expressed that he understood. The two spoke a few more words, and Iruka offered to leave. But after he left the office, Sarutobi Hiruzen immediately cast the telescope technique. The picture in the ball in front of him shows the situation in the ninja school. Coming. On the teacher's podium, Zhao Yuchen sensed the peeping eyes flashed, and said, Students, you are about to take the graduation exam and have the opportunity to become an official ninja. So, how do you become a good ninja? As soon as this remark came out, all the students sat up straight, showing expressions of interest. Zhao Yuchen put down his textbook and said seriously, "Today, we don't teach ninjutsu or ninja knowledge. We focus on the beliefs that a qualified ninja should possess." As he spoke, Zhao Yuchen wrote 4 large characters on the blackboard. Will of Fire. Huh. Sarutobi Hiruzen was startled. At times like this, he never forgets to instill the will of fire in the students. Zhao Yuchen really deserves to be the most loyal trumpet to himself, and deserves to be valued. But soon, he frowned, his old face full of bewilderment. Just because Zhao Yuchen started his impassioned speech. According to Hokage-sama, to discuss the will of fire, first discuss the origin. According to Hokage-sama, the will of fire needs to be viewed dialectically. Talk about the spirit of sacrifice. According to Hokage-sama, we need to interpret the will of fire from both micro and macro perspectives. Zhao Yuchen brought out the spirit of defending the thesis when he was in college in his previous life, and gave the will of fire a wave of heights, and analyzed it from multiple angles. The nouns used in it are all single words that can be understood, but when they are connected together, it is unpredictable for a while. As an actor, he even showed emotions such as impassioned and passionate. For a moment, although the students in the classroom didn't understand at all, they were greatly shocked. Si Gui. Dao system it. Thin and multi-lock card. There are many ways. The students exclaimed. Zhao Yuchen seemed to have an aura of scholar in his eyes. Because Zhao Yuchen must say, according to Mr. Hokage's meaning, which shows that this is not his idea of Zhao Yuchen, but the truth realized by 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. These students also say from time to time, Master 3rd Hokage is really amazing, Dr. Ninja, or something like that. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at this scene, took a deep breath, and his expression kept switching between confused, suddenly, and admired, and finally turned into a nod of approval. Yuchen summed it up pretty well. Yes, I said all of this. As expected of me. Danzo, you should come and listen, this is Hokage. Sarutobi had an inscrutable expression on his face. In fact, of course he didn't understand either. To put it bluntly, he is a doctor of ninja, but in fact he has a primary school diploma. After graduation, he learned a technique and became a professional technical worker, ninja. In the field of ninjas, he may not be bad, but in terms of knowledge and talent, he is just a child. But after playing politics for so many years, he has a thick skin enough to accept all this calmly. Let Yuchen be Naruto's guardian, I'm relieved. At the same time, the girls holding copies of the diaries have black lines all over their heads. Just because of the familiar opening remarks. Ha ha ha, the old monkey must be very confused. A primary school student who knows the phrase, where the leaves dance, the fire is endless, how can he understand this? He can't understand, and my group of lovely students naturally can't understand, and this is what I want, and I won't be a tool for him to brainwash the next generation. He still has to admit that I'm right, so he can pretend to be inscrutable to show that he's awesome. This wave, I'm on the 5th floor. Women. Yes. Right. Right. But we are in the atmosphere.